find the thing to start. Where's the thing to start? Hey, what's going on? Dom is lost in space someplace. We don't quite know where he is. So if you see him, you tell him we waited about as long as we can. Also, we've got a couple interesting things. Might not be. Oh, there he is. There's Dom. Good. I'm glad Dom's here because Dom and Jedi brought up something the other week. Pray for Maui. Sure. Yep. Pray for Maui. But Dom and Jedi brought something up the other week about kind of what is the right price. That's what Jedi, he always says wise things. He sneaks them in there. And if you don't listen, and I said something like, all the 100s aren't worth buying the week they came out because they'll drop. And he goes, well, what is the right price the week they came out? So we'll talk a little bit about that later on in the comic review area. We definitely, Wayseeker has put together a list that me and JJ adamantly agree with and then disagree with. So we added some outside the lines, but it's 10 episodes you have to watch on Rebels. We won't do so many outliers, but we'll have a couple in there. And then we've got Pete here because he only has to be, he's contractually applied to be in 96% of all shows on Renovision.
To be honest, I had a long day and I really wanted to drink, and I usually only drink when I'm on here.
There you go. That's not true. That is not true.
Fun of, me for all of the stuff that I like, and then he's gonna say like the biggest piece of garbage of the week.
Once again, because
the only reason I'm here is to see if Marco can.
Hold on. The two joyless men, the grumpy old dude and the guy that hates Santa, don't get the point of a comic book. So I will explain the point of that comic book to them. Okay.
And Dom was going to say the greatest first appearance of all time is in that book. You just wait for it. The last
there's something the Dom can't criticize that book because it brought back something Dom said would never happen.
Yeah.
There's something in that book that Dom said we will never see ever again. It's in that book. It is in that book. Thank you, Dom. All right. He just spit water everywhere.
Damn thing, man.
Tom is off of his game tonight.
No,
all right.
Off the game. I actually worked late. I had a busy day today. I got home like maybe 2 hours ago, and I actually did pass out on the couch.
Yeah.
So
I know the feeling.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good thing. I also learned some history the other day on the islands of Hawaii. So that's cool. And that Jedi is not on Maui, which is not the big island. And the big island is the same name as all the islands, pretty much the chain of islands. So there you go. Let's say hi to everybody in the chat. GT Key Comics. Hi, thumbs up. Tommy, good to see you, bud. Star Wars Sunday with the Dark Side crew. Can it get any better? Maybe if I can read. Have a good show, fellas. Cheers, cheers. Thank you, Tommy. I think you're going to enjoy the show, Tom. Vader Prime, evening, fellas. I've been binge watching Rebels this weekend in preparation for Ahsoka, so perfect timing for your top 10. Have a great show.
I'm glad someone
Peace
has.
and cheers. We'll explain the top. What's that?
I'm glad some of us were.
I think we got to explain too where the outliner's coming from the other stuff, but it's all right. Ed saying hi for the algorithm. Ed, thank you for saying hi from the algorithm. King of Nerds, it's Bruce. Let's go here. Let's go here for the boys. From what I hear, Lucifer has saved our Saturday show. Saturday, is that the day? Is that the day? Yeah, SNS.
Yes,
he has saved the SNS show from what I've heard. That's the rumors around it. He's making it the hottest item. So make sure you check him out. Sub to his channel and check him out here on Renovision on Saturday nights. Joe, on the road, so we'll catch the rewind. Stay frosty, boys. Oh man, sorry to hear you're on the road. And he has a sketch of a what is that?
Very tired looking.
Yeah, it was like a meme, right?
Original individual.
Kind of looks like Marco's going to look in 5 years from now, I think. Future for you, Marco.
Jeez. This is when I'm talking to you. This is what makes me feel. All right. Dusty B. Wait a minute. 5 years from now, I see a resemblance to somebody currently on the show that looks a little bit like this, actually. What the fuck?
Jesus.
What the fuck? All right. Dusty Baker, 1970. That's a relative of somebody. Curious to see which episode y'all pick. I bet Jedi picks the one with C-3PO, and Dom picks the one with the Mandalorians. Well, they didn't
allowed to pick any of them.
Yeah, no. Hey guys, well, I mean, we
You
did
could
say
have chimed in. You could have been like,
you could have
we
chimed
need
in like me and
that.
JJ did, and it would have been rejected, and then we just have to do outside the line stuff. Justin, hey guys, Jeffrey Drake, hello all. By the way, thanks everybody for the subs.
And just to be clear, if Dom was picking, it would be all the episodes where Ahsoka could just talk around a campfire about all the great things that she did. Because I heard
no, time out. It would have been. It would have been. No, it would have been every Maul episode, and every Mandalorian episode. That's it.
That's all.
That's all we have. That's it.
Those are good episodes. What are we gonna do, man?
And even,
yeah,
well, Maul's not going to have shit to do with Ahsoka going forward. Oh wait, you think? Yeah, you do think they're going to be at campfire talking about?
Yeah, campfire talk. It was all last week. It's just going to be
later on.
We haven't got through this yet. Go ahead.
There's something later on. I'll.
All right, let me say hi to people.
Yeah, just talk.
Yeah.
There's something I got to talk about.
Hey, a Rebel show drew me in tonight. Hey, cool. Good to talk to you, Dan. Hey, Dan asked what the best co-op Star Wars game is, and I know a Wayseeker is going to cringe and probably JJ hearing this, but I will always say that one of the best ones, even though I know like people hate the microtransactions, is Battlefront 2 for co-op. It is one of the best, especially if you have a younger kid and for whatever, playing in either that search and destroy thing that you have, or even when you get to be the main characters and just flip around and stuff and play teams on that is pretty fun.
I still have a soft spot for Rogue Squadron on N64.
Yeah, but it had to be on Xbox too. That was the other thing. Well, I mean, they're all convertible now. Yeah, so but that's geography, not history. What?
About the different islands of Hawaii.
Oh no, because of the naming of them. That's what the history of it was. Listen. I got a history lesson on why they were named different stuff and how Hawaii was named the island chain and the actual big island. Okay, buddy, that's not geography. That's history. What does he say today? Lopez, BK for life. Dart Dom, take over the show, please. Okay, good job, BK. Way to waste our all time. All right, let's get into news.
All right, we got a quick week this week for news. Not much is happening in the Star Wars world. We're 10 days away from Ahsoka, so let's see what that's all about.
We're getting close.
The news that Ashley Eckstein came out this week and said that if it wasn't for COVID, Siege of Mandalore, the arc from Clone Wars Season 7, was set to be released in theaters. Is this a good idea?
No, I don't think that would have done well.
Would you have seen it?
I'm glad that they did it the way they did it. I think more people watched it because of the way they did it than would have if they for theaters.
Yeah, they put it in theaters. I don't know. I probably would have waited.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Remember?
Yeah, go ahead. Because I think we're thinking the same thing, Dom.
No, because remember the first Clone Wars that went in the movie theaters? It didn't really set well with people. It was more people really didn't care. They waited. It came on.
JJ, I like that too.
Cartoon Network at the time, and I don't know. And plus, you know what it is? People don't have that patience anymore to really go to a movie. Even before the pandemic, people would go, but I don't think they would have seen this.
Man, it's like somebody said during the pandemic that when movie theaters open back up, they're just not going to be as busy because people don't enjoy that experience as much. And now that they don't go there, they don't see it as much. I wonder who said that.
People still go.
Not as many. Yeah. Dom's right. People don't like going as much because you got so much stuff at home now. You got your entertainment. You get
that's everything. A different thing, though. Not liking going as much and not wanting to spend that kind of money and already having alternatives at home. Those are different conversations. Then it's like, I would love to go to every professional sporting event if I could, but you can't afford to do every.
Oh, no. People will put anything on their credit card.
Besides, I think would have walked out after seeing the sisters, the twins, the Mars sisters.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't like.
You didn't know that they changed them. You didn't read the book.
I didn't know, but the fact is that. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what. I didn't know.
Somebody would have told him before he went in there. You would have read somebody.
Exactly. I would have.
Hey, as somebody who read the fucking book ahead of time, I was like, yeah, what the fuck ever. I didn't give a shit. They weren't that significant.
The last 4 episodes were the most significant part of that whole series, season 7. The last 4 episodes. You know, the Siege of Mandalore with Maul and Order 66 and that intertwined with the Revenge of the Sith. That was the best part of it. The other stuff
building to that.
Yeah, it'd have been cool to see that big screen.
That was the first time Dave decided to shit all over a cannon. So there you go.
Oh, don't worry, more that's coming soon.
Do you think they'll do this more often now that we're past COVID?
I think now they will because it's cheaper. I think when they said that they wanted to go cheaper with stuff. I mean, I know some of that chat isn't about. I mean, I know we all try to micro focus it down to Star Wars, and maybe more of the stuff they were saying wasn't quite related to this franchise in particular. That it might have just been a generalization overall, with especially seeing Marvel and how some of the things like Black Widow did and stuff like that, and also talking about what they've already started to do with their sports and NBC product. It's all inclusive, so they're not getting too close to it. But yeah, I mean, if animated is popular, why wouldn't they
I think
put it out
is.
there?
Like I keep saying, if they would have did the Skywalkers after Luke, Leia, Han, this type of animation, it would have took off. People would have loved it. People would
Hey,
have.
Ronnie.
I keep saying that they missed out that opportunity. They could have did other new things, but they could have continued Luke and his journey, and they could have did that with animation, and people would have loved it. And they didn't care about. Look, after the Clone Wars came out, people loved the cartoons. They would have sat there and watched them, and they would have got really good reviews on them. So I don't know why they never went through it and did that.
That's not kind of what he asked if they're going to put them into movies and if that plays. I think something like this, when it's supposed to be a big arc or whatever, maybe. See, I don't think this is big enough. I don't think season 7 was big enough to fucking put into a movie. I really don't think it. Yeah. I mean, I mean, it'd be tough. If they want to go animated, they could probably go something animated, but this probably, I don't know. This doesn't seem it.
No. High Republic maybe in the future, something like that. I could make it see. It's cheaper. I mean, that's the thing. It's a way to do cheaper content. Unfortunately, voice actors make so much less.
I don't know if you guys remember years ago there was a rumor that Lucas before Disney bought Star Wars, that Lucas was going to go get the top animators to make animated cartoons of all the comics from Dark Horse. He was going to go out and start making animated cartoons.
That would never happen. That would never happen. He hated that stuff. Half of that.
Yeah,
stuff.
he absolutely hated the comics. Absolutely hated the novels too. That's not something he would have done.
There was something with animation that he was looking to do.
Yeah, he's looking to tell new stories out of animation. He did. He went out there and grabbed. That's where he was grabbing Dave for. So
It's like we
I
need more
believe that.
Gungan.
I
That's
believe
what
he
we
would have
need.
wanted to create new content, but not that Dark Horse stuff.
Hey, some of that Dark Horse stuff is better than the shit they're putting out now.
yeah, Lucas hated that stuff. He hated the comics.
Waysick, are you saying it's cheaper to make a theatrical
Animation, yeah,
movie than a series? Is that
Well, no, I think animation's cheaper than live action.
yeah.
okay.
They said it flat out. They said they're going to do more animation stuff because it's cheaper. Like they legitimately said that they're going that route. So yeah, Lucas didn't acknowledge the comics. He hated the comics. He thought they were stupid. Anything he didn't do, he thought was stupid. All right, go ahead.
So we got the upcoming release schedule from Disney this week, and one thing that was omitted or not on the schedule was Skeleton Crew, which created some Dom craziness in the chat. And of course, it's been canceled. Maybe it's been canceled.
No.
We're gonna get it.
If you watch the Friday show with me and Jedi and Sticks talking about with the strike and with the stuff, they probably get the best thing is that no new stuff's coming out. The whole back stuff to have
Absolutely.
for next year.
Common
Yeah,
sense.
but they never. It's not missing because they've never scheduled it though.
No, they
Like
did
there
November.
hasn't ever been
It
a.
was coming out in November.
like-
They said November.
No, Dom. Did you read the chat? Because I went back and looked. To see that, and it said it had never said it was coming out in November.
I
There
thought it
was
was November. That's
no,
why-
no. They never said it was coming out. That's why they had never said a
It
date
was
for
on.
it.
It had 2023 at one point, but they didn't say when in 2023. But I do
Yeah.
think 2023 is in jeopardy because of the strike.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
Dub. But yeah, if they move it down, then they just move it down. I mean, that's not. But it's not. When I say put it on the schedule, I mean like August 10th, 2023, coming to theaters.
Look,
That's
I
putting
think
on the schedule.
If this
Saying
comes out-
sometimes in 2023, 2024 doesn't mean shit, dude. That's just saying that you're going to do something. You know
I
what I
actually
mean?
think next year, if they come
You think-
out next year, you have this, the Acolyte, and you have what is it? You have the Bad Batch season 3. That's it. And
Go
you
ahead.
have-
We'll have Bad Batch season 3,
Jedi, go ahead.
Tales of the Jedi
okay.
season 2. So we'll have 4,
I don't know.
2 animated projects.
Jedi, go ahead.
No, I was just curious. Do we think the writer's strike affected a series
I don't think it
that
is at all.
supposed to release in 2023? That should have been
Nope.
done way before the writer's strike.
What I think they're saying is that they won't be able to have new content.
No, but they're not going to
2024.
make other stuff.
Yeah,
I think it has less
If
to
you
do
have
with
something
that.
done, keep it in your back pocket.
Right.
I think it. But
Yeah, I get that, but Skeleton Crew in particular, it wouldn't
It's
have had
done.
any effect on Skeleton Crew.
Yeah,
No,
it's
Skeleton
done.
Crew's done.
It's in the can. It's
Yeah.
done. This isn't DC where they just got acquired and they start taking stuff they spent millions of dollars on and they write it off as a tax write-off. They're not doing that, so they're not canceling this. What I think this more has to do too, right? Jedi saying not with the writers is they want to spread this content out. So originally, we're gonna hit everything, even say this is 2023, but then as soon as stuff happened and streaming numbers weren't coming in and other stuff wasn't coming in right, they said, hold on, we're gonna spread this stuff out with or without the writer's strike. The writer's strike's just helping it out.
I still think the strike, both the writers and actors strikes, is still coming into play here.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you're going to have a gap of no content. It makes sense to stretch out the things
exactly.
you do have. Because why rush? Like,
Because there's no way
Everything
Andor's
comes back
supposed to come out.
2000, late
Yeah.
2024, 25. So there's really
Okay,
nothing
I
that's
see
going to
what
come
you're
out next year. If you don't have those shows next year, it's going to be dismal. But that's why if you hold off and
Hey, Mr.
spread it out,
Ackerman.
that'd be
No,
so-
I agree with that part of it. What I'm saying is, like, I think they were going to spread it out. I'm saying no matter
I know what you're saying. You're
because they
saying
didn't put a
either
date
was
on
gonna be
there.
stretched.
I think they were going to spread it out either way. Did the writer's strike help it spread out? Sure, but like that's secondary to they're spreading the shit out anyways because they wanted to spread out content and add more animated in.
I don't think they were going to spread it out without the writers' strike. I think they had it in their mind. They have 2 shows next year. They're going to have Acolyte and Andor. But now Andor is not going to happen in 2024 because it's not done filming.
Nope.
And so they needed to make sure they had 2 shows in 2024. So now
And
it's
what else do they have from
through.
Marvel? Do you know? Because I know they have I know they have another Marvel project.
Hold on. You're saying that's not going to be done in 2024, but here's another little tidbit. You're actually thinking that nobody's sitting there writing shit, and the day that this fucking strike breaks, they're not going to turn in a fully written script. I think is a little bit, I don't know.
But you got to get all the actors back out there to finish filming. It takes time. It takes time to get.
Yeah, that
all
takes a
their
little bit.
schedules.
Yeah.
It's not like you can just pick it up day one and just.
No, I agree on that. I agree.
I guess
All
it
right.
depends on how you're paid too, right? Are you paid by the project? Or are you paid by
Yeah,
like a
but
monthly
you are.
salary? Because if
Yeah.
you're on a salary, even if I'm working on stuff during the strike, I'm not just going to dump everything.
No, you're paid per project. You're paid on
per
project.
project. Okay.
Actually, if you go over, you get there's like penalties. So like, you're paid per project. You're not paid. They don't clock in and clock out. I mean, not at that level. Not like the main writer.
No, not the
Really
actors.
doesn't-
I mean, you might. Some of the other people might.
No, not the actors. I was talking about the writers. I mean,
That's what I'm saying. Like the main writers don't like this. I think that's part of the stuff they're arguing for too. Is to have, if you have the writer in the room, they get paid flat rate for being in the room during the show.
I think this also plays a part of this.
Oh yeah, okay, fair. Like I said, it wasn't not. I just think they're spreading it out either way. I mean, they flat out said they're spreading these shows out. They're not.
You
gonna
have
come out
something in
with-
the beginning of the year, and something towards the end of in the middle, and then something at the end. And make it all give you.
All right.
That sucks though.
Yep.
It really does.
Our favorite Star Wars person ever, right? Damon Lindelof came out this week and said he says picketing Star Wars is a lot more fun than writing a Star Wars movie. So he's having a lot more fun on the boycotting lines than writing actually a movie, which shows all you need to know about this dude. Like,
Who's this dude again?
he's the one that was doing the Rey movie, the new. They got kicked off with the Rey movie.
Fucking zero fucks about this dude.
Remember?
Hey, does this dude hang out with that Prince kid? Freddie Prince. This guy and Freddie Prince Jr. need to start a podcast together. It should be called "Nobody Gives a Fuck."
Damon Lindelof and J.J. Abrams did Lost together.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, neighbors can go there too. Oh.
Wayseeker, did you have to stretch the picture of this guy to get it on? That is like
No, he's got an Inquisitor head.
He got the better head than the Inquisitor did in the TV show.
Yeah, 100%. I think Dub's got it right. Dub has got it 100% right.
Move this man!
Also, hey, dickhead, you probably should be making light of fucking people picketing stuff because, like, some of those people are literally saving up so that they don't starve. I know you're not, you fucktard.
They're not just hanging out.
Yeah, they're not fucking hanging out, having a good
Hanging out,
time,
just,
having a
something
fucking
Monday,
siesta with their
like,
fucking Inquisitor head, their stupid fucking glasses, looking like a chode. You fucking loser. You and Prince Jr. need to go sit together and have a circle jerk and fucking pound each other in the eyes till you're blind.
Damn.
Okay,
Yeah,
next.
tell us what you really
Well,
think.
no, I mean, like, he's a shithead. Like, he's a shithead. Like, dude, I mean, it is kind of, you can't say, take it serious. Some of these people are going to lose their houses, they're going to starve, and have this turd fuck go like, hey, man, it's a party out here. It's better than writing Star Wars stuff. Cool. Sign your check over to the rest of those people who are trying to make a fucking living and call it a good day. And then you won't have stupid fucking glasses like that and a stupid face like that I have to fucking look at. All right? Get this stupid face off this thing.
Tell
Fuck
us
that
how
guy.
you really think, Marco.
Yeah, that's why I think get him the fuck out of
Hey,
here.
there he
Good.
is.
The better face. That
There he
face
is
looks
again.
better than that stupid guy's face.
There he is again.
Oh, and I love Warwick Davis. He's a fucking gentleman, a scholar, a wonderful human being.
I put this one in there just for you.
Great guy.
Warwick Davis hopes to return again to the Star Wars universe. He was asked which character would he like to play again most, and he answered Latif from Rogue One. That's who he wants to play again. He
Good
doesn't
for
die-
him.
He doesn't die in Rogue One. He survives. So,
Give it to him. He should come back. 100%. I
Well,
agree.
Be careful. Be careful. You might have David Dinklage tell him that he can't come back and play that character again because they're not allowed to have any type of dwarfs on TV anymore.
What are you talking about?
No, David Dinklage with the dwarfs. The dwarfs are bad. No more
Who's
dwarfs.
David Dinklage.
David Dinklage from Game of Thrones. That
Oh,
He,
Peter
uh,
Dinklage.
Peter
Peter Dinklage, the guy that
Talk about David,
plays.
like, who the hell's
Yeah,
David?
Peter. No, I'm sorry, Peter Dinklage. He making comments about little people and roles on TV. And
Well, he's the little person. He can make comments about that. I don't know why we're making comments about it. All I'm saying is that Warwick Davis is a fucking great dude. And
I
like
just want
whatever.
more Willow.
I don't even know what comment you're making. I don't know.
No,
Is Dan Dillage Peter Dillage's brother? He's a dwarf also?
Peter Dinklage.
A short person?
Okay, Dan, my bad. My bad.
I don't even know what the fuck you're supposed to call it anymore, but I'll tell you this, like, I don't know. Jedi, can you translate for us?
Hey, my First Amendment right says I can make fun of whoever. You know,
I get that, but what the fuck was he talking about?
I was saying that Peter Dinklage is trying to get anybody who's a midget or small people on TV that they don't it's not right that they shouldn't have jobs or something like that. Meanwhile, he had a job.
Or something like that.
Yeah,
What?
I'm just saying.
Everybody's
I
gonna
don't
make
know.
a
All right. All right.
I think
You have Warwick
Well,
Davis play this fucking
I have-
character or
I have a
not?
feeling he was probably being like tongue in cheek.
Tongue in cheek, yeah.
Yeah, when he said it. I have no. I didn't hear it. I didn't read it. I just kind of got that vibe that he was probably being funny.
Yeah, especially after the station agent and other yeah, I think so.
Station Agent's awesome.
I love station agents. Station
Like,
Agent's
I don't know
awesome.
why. Like, it's
Oh, it's so fucking terrible. It's fucking horrible. There's like parts where you're like, are you actually supposed to be filming this shit? Because it looks like two dudes are just doing absolutely dick off. But
That's funny.
it's fucking great.
well, they are just throwing rocks in the river.
It doesn't make much sense either, but whatever. Okay, cool. Bring that part back.
If you are big into Ahsoka merchandise, there's going to be some Chopper toys, some other toys coming only to Disney Plus members that will be releasing the day of the release, so 10 days from now.
Disney
So
Plus?
if you're interested in some Ahsoka merchandise, you can pick it up only
Zaggy.
through Disney Plus.
Zaggy.
Ow.
Okay, you have freedom of speech. So does Jedi. Zaggy. That is not appropriate, though. Throwable people is not appropriate, buddy. Not appropriate.
Well, anybody's throwable if you have enough.
Yeah, if you got a
force.
big enough person.
Yeah.
All right, back to this one. Anybody have any thoughts on exclusive?
Wait,
Disney
wait,
Plus?
is this Shop Disney that you have to go to, or does Disney Plus have their own store?
Disney Plus is going to they've done this before. I think
Yeah,
they
he
have
done it
their
before. Yeah.
own store on they did.
Online. They had like figures and stuff like that, and maybe plushes.
So this is separate than Shop Disney or Disney
Correct.
Shop or whatever.
Correct. You can only access
Hey,
this
Hyde.
if you're a Disney Plus member. So Shop Disney's for everybody. This is the more exclusive merchandise.
Yeah.
They're trying to push their Disney Plus.
I think
I'll
Jeffrey
check it out. I'm
Jeffrey
not buying
Drake
anything,
is
but I'll
right.
check it
I
out.
think Tommy had it backwards.
No, it wasn't.
Hugh
It
Grant
was-
is it Oopa Loopa?
No,
What the
it
fuck?
was that
Yes.
the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They don't want to do dwarfs anymore, and so Disney went out and got freaking regular sized people. He's got it wrong. David Dinklage.
Yes, but that's what he's saying. He's
No.
saying you're casting regular sized people in roles that
No,
could go to
no.
little people.
No, David Dinklage. I keep saying David. Why?
I'm saying David Dinklage.
Yeah, David Dinklage is a tall dude. Peter
No,
Dinklage
I'm
is a
saying
short
that
dude. Peter
Peter
Dinklage said,
Dinklage-
"Hey, no, he's Dom. What you're missing is
I
Peter
keep
Dinklage is
thinking he's
saying."
talking about Dick Diggler. I don't know.
I know. Peter is saying, "Hey, by the way, you're trying to be politically correct, but instead you're losing jobs for the people you're trying
No,
to
he's
protect."
against the people are mad at Peter.
That's not what he's saying because
No,
I
that's
am
wrong.
people looked it up.
No, he don't want. He said that it's wrong. It's politically correct. You can't. Little
He's
people anymore.
saying it's sarcasm. He's saying what I just said, but sarcastically,
What?
Dom.
No, what? Okay, never mind.
We just looked it up, Pete. Is that
No.
correct?
I'm
Nope.
trying to find it so I can put it
Peter
in here.
Dinklage is
right.
against Disney. That's why they didn't get dwarfs.
Yeah, this is what he was. Jeffrey Drake is right. He was pissed about dwarf roles going to people of regular size.
No,
And the new slut.
no,
Yes.
no. He's
Stop. Everybody.
No,
Stop. Hold on, bud. Everybody's saying this is it. You're the only person saying no and
we have
wagging your
little
finger.
people fighting Peter Dinklage, saying you took roles from us because you told the political correct that is the
What?
dwarfs.
I froze.
It's it's not right.
I froze.
AJ,
I
I tried to move things.
All right, move
I don't
along.
know.
Keep going. Next one up. Next.
I
Get
don't
off
know.
of this.
Are we done with this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll check it
Well,
out.
listen,
I won't buy anything, but I'll
if-
check it out.
You buy it, shop Disney, but your account has to be linked to an email. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
there you go.
There you
There you go.
Hey, Chef, dude, what a time to
All
come
right,
on.
here's Dom's new obsession right here. This is I know,
No, Digglers, let's move on.
we know that Jedi enthralled with this lightsaber because of Orla. So we saw it in Rise of Skywalker, whatever. Now the
Whoa! Get the fuck out of here.
Switchblade double lightsaber is coming out and it's available for purchase for $1,599.
Nah, that bootleg company is gonna come out with that bitch for about $29.99.
I don't understand a couple things other than my original not understanding the function of a double blade, like whatever this is. It has no function other than a regular lightsaber. Well, why are they calling it a switchblade? Does it like? I don't.
I think you can take it apart and make it into one.
So you make it into a maul.
You can make it into like a mall one, kind of.
I thought you just
It can
slapped it
also
open.
do
I
this.
thought you like snacked it open and then it turns into one, right?
Because when you think
You know-
about it, all lightsabers are like stiletto lightsabers anyway, right?
Yeah, it comes right out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So unless it like does one of those,
I saw
Yeah,
pictures of
whatever.
it wide open on both sides, like a mall one, but it also turns into this,
Yeah,
Or
it collapses. It goes in and it's like, all right, there you go.
You can do. Is it like
And
a
it comes
butterfly
out and then you
knife?
got two. Yeah, just like a butterfly knife. Yeah, tricks.
So
You get,
Yeah,
and plus
I
you
feel
can
like
role play
having a
Ray,
double
which is I
lightsaber
know that's
is
Jedi's
correct.
dream, being all politically correct and all, is he can Ray him there first speech. Go.
I would make a hell of a Ray. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Double blocking ability. All right.
$15.99 though. I was like, whoa. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Have you
Right.
seen at your local cons? Have they have the lightsaber people started coming? The custom lightsaber people where everything's like $2.99, but like you can build any lights. They look pretty.
Yeah.
Good. They look just as good as the Master Effects ones.
Right.
To be honest with you. So
I don't know. This was a shocking the price tag on this one. So
they're gonna be making this shit for $2.99, $299.
That's too much.
Huh?
I'll be passing on that. Too much.
Yeah, but what? $299 when they get the bootleg. Are you gonna get the bootleg?
Nah, I'll pass on that too.
What?
$2.99, I'd be okay with.
You'll spend
$2.99.
$350, 12 payments of $5.99, $59.99, or whatever the fuck for some plastic toy head on a fucking podium, but you won't pay $299 for a double fucking lightsaber that switchblades out and you can fucking beat people with?
This is totally what
I can't really
$2.99.
use it. I don't want it.
You can use it.
I don't. If I can't use it on the people near my job, I don't want it.
You can't use your toys. You can't use the Hasbro Ghost on your job either. You're gonna start throwing it at other people.
That's the common sense I don't understand. This is actually price per like product. This is
it's
cheaper
actually
than
pretty
him buying. Hey, what are those like $125 like half like just the heads with no arms and bodies?
So
What are those things called?
A show. Goes back
What are
to
the
the acolyte.
sideshow? Whatever. It's
Sideshow.
just the bust. The bust.
Oh, the
Is
bus.
it like $125 for a bust?
Yeah, I'd rather have the bus. It's nice to put it on my showcase. But it's all right. I got the dog saver. That's all I need. It's gone though, but it's all right.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next.
Jeffrey Brown, if you follow these kids' books or whatever, Jeffrey Brown was announced coming out with the Mandalorian Child book with a November release date. So if that's something that you're into, you are put this one on your list of things.
Wait.
Dude, I don't know. I think the Shield
You're not
thing's
into
pretty
this,
dumb.
Wayseeker?
What?
You're not into this?
I'm not into this. No.
You don't
You're
like
not
Jeffrey
into
Brown
anything
books?
that's for ages 3 and under. I don't understand.
No. If it's actually cute and educational, it has a point or a moral to a story. He only likes bears that go ooga booga and like don't actually have any fucking service. He doesn't like Santa Claus or stories that tell like any story that has. He hates all the fucking stories. What the hell were the fairy tales?
Man,
Don't
I
like
would
any
have
of
bet that Wayseeker had already pre-ordered this thing.
No, He hates the Grims. He hates these because they have like tell you a little good story at the end.
They're not fun. They tried to be funny. I just don't find them funny. So that's fine.
What?
Have you read some of these? I read.
See, this is why later when we talk about this book, whose opinion are you going to take? Yes, I read because I have a daughter and a son. I read the Nighttime for the Twins one. I read.
Yeah, that's.
I read that one. I read Nighttime Vader. I read like 4 or 5 of these. What was it? There was one, a Chewbacca one or something, or a Wookiee one. Wookiees hit the ground or whatever the fuck it was. I read that one too. Yeah, they're great for kids. So you can read to kids these, and they can read them too.
5 million kids.
The art in this one's is probably better than the internal art. The story.
Oh, they're fun
probably
too.
better than the story
Jedi.
art in the comics, to be honest.
Yes, and then Jedi. They're entertaining. You'll chuckle and giggle if you have a sense of humor or any fucking. If you're just not a fucking curmudgeon your entire life, and you want to fucking destroy Santa Claus, like if you have any hope of
Nubs, so
if you wake up every day and it's not fucking just a cloud of shit following you, you'll enjoy these. You actually will enjoy them even a little bit, man. They're pretty nice. They're fun. You're right, Jedi. 100%. Good call. Yep.
Wayseeker.
Nope. I'm out. And last but not least for the news, if you didn't go San Diego Comic-Con and you wanted the San Diego Comic-Con variant, the Magnolia variant, it is now available. It was available as this show started, at least, on Dark Horse Direct. They had 500 copies available at one point.
Well, this one's different than the one that they sold for the
black and white
celebration, though, right?
Yeah, this is just black and white. Same as before, but yeah, just the black and white variant. I didn't pick this one up. I picked up the other one. I didn't need a black and white one.
Yeah, I didn't need the black and white either.
Yeah. But there's going to be at least one more. My guess it'll be New York Comic-Con. They'll release the other one because they're all Comic-Con exclusives.
Yep. Is that going to be a sketch one? What are we going to do? Even
I don't know. Hopefully it's something
Rainbow
completely
color.
different.
Rainbow.
It's going to be black and white, but it's going to be inverted. Everything's just
Cool.
Oh, that's a negative version.
Yeah. So if you like it, it's $25 plus a crazy amount of shipping. Just expect to pay like $20 shipping.
Yeah,
for that one. It's
why is shipping so much for a damn piece of paper?
I don't know. I think there's actually couple more slides on looking at my order.
Crazy.
Star Wars Hunters is now been, game was supposed to come out 3 years ago, is now aiming for a late 2023, early.
Yay! So
it's never coming out.
Nobody
Nobody believes this game's ever coming out. It's not coming out.
Yeah, what
you
comes
made
out
me read
first?
a fucking book about this fucking stupid shit.
The book was good. The book was like.
Are we gonna get this game?
You
or are we
actually
gonna
said
get...
it was pretty good too. I
What's the
can
other
go
one
back to the tape. You said it was one of the.
I
better
say
books.
everything's pretty good, dude. Like,
don't lie to the people.
Not
Hey,
everything.
but now that
Not
there's not a
everything.
game,
It was
it was only pretty good. No, it was only pretty good because the prep. Hold on, this is why it was good. It was only good because the premise of it was that there was going to be a video game that linked into it. When you don't have that piece, now you just have a fucking. You just have some paper.
I hope the game.
Yes,
sees-
yeah, that's true.
it's
That's
not.
true. Oh, okay.
Marcos Frozen.
Yeah, what's he freezing now?
Hey, I was
Oh,
looking.
fuck
I was
on.
looking for a
I don't know.
Ugnog inside a robot. I wanted to see
I'm gonna
it.
dip out, come back.
Me too. I want to see I want to see the double Jawas, whatever. Oh yeah, and last but not least, this is a really fun story. This guy's in Europe, and he created this
This is how it
pit
starts.
droid that is fully functional based off of AI. It's able to process what it sees through this camera and able to move and interact and actually engage with things based off of using AI in that camera. And so he did it on his own. He put it up on his website to show other people, and other people can build one too. So if you really want to do it, it took him about 4 months to build it. I think it cost him somewhere in the vicinity of $30,000 to completely build it, with all of the technology and AI and all of
You can
he's an
honestly say this
engineer.
guy's
of some
probably
sort.
lonely. This guy's probably lonely, has no wife, and that's his sexual partner right there.
There's worse things that you could do.
What
do you
the
think?
fuck? What are you doing?
Somebody remind Dom that it's not Friday night.
Oh, I was just saying. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Guys, he is not banging that droid. What is wrong with you?
No,
What
Thanks
is
for
wrong with you?
clarifying.
No, if Lando can, why can't he?
Friday night, people, man. Yeah.
Wait
I
a minute.
saw the
So,
droid's hand
Lacey,
kinda
I
rubbing
didn't
his
read the
thigh
article.
gently,
You guys know that. You know I didn't read the article. Does this thing move around, or does it just sit there?
Oh, it
and
moves
read
around
it?
on its own. He doesn't have to move it. It can move around on its own, and it can engage with the world around it. So yes,
So
It's like a
why-
fucking Roomba, dude.
so
Can it
why
watch
would
your
he-
kids
I mean,
like the robot in Rocky 4 that apparently took care of his son and the kids he had sleeping over during that final fight? Because
the one poly programmed.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that one took care of it. Can it do that?
Guys, that
That's
droid's
exactly
not
what
getting
Dom
worked
was doing
out.
this week.
Stop it.
It's gonna start wearing Leah's bikini and go around the house.
It is good. And by the way, who thinks this is a good idea? Because I'm putting one in this dude's head too. When the droids try to take over and I have to take them all down, I'm also taking this guy down too.
This guy, I just wonder about this guy though, because he's obviously a smart, nerdy, but smart dude with capabilities. Why build the pit droid? Why not build a cooler droid than the pit droid?
Why not
If you
C3?
had this
Have you,
ability-
dude? Have you ever talked to any of these people?
No.
A perfect example right here.
Uh,
I mean, answer the question.
Oh,
I'm glad Radio Shacks
Could've been
aren't allowed
false.
anymore. I really am glad that Radio Shacks closed. I think it was a conspiracy. They closed all Radio Shacks so weirdo nerds couldn't fucking have the droids take over.
no,
I think there's a lot of
Radio
people that want
Shacks
the
were
droids to
mob
take over.
the more
fronts.
AIs are taking over more and more. The droids are coming.
Radio Shack was not an actual company. It was
I
just a
know.
front for the mob.
Well, I'm telling you.
No,
Whoever bought anything from Radio Shack?
No,
It wasn't
Blockbuster.
just a wire.
I bought a
Blockbuster
couple
was
things.
front-
How did they
was
stay
the
in
front for
business
mob.
forever?
Back in the
There's
day,
no
it did.
way in hell.
Pete,
They
Pete,
made it.
I know you're trying to say that, but I bought plenty of stuff from Radio Shack.
all right, and that, my friends, is the week in Star Wars.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's what scares me, bro. That's what scares me.
No, it's the smallest. You got to figure the other ones would have been more materials.
Pete, fucking, I don't have the patience for
Pit
between
droid, I'm saying.
Peter Dinklage talk and the fucking you guys in the droids tonight. You guys are idiots.
Hey, I'm sorry. Just
You guys. What are we doing with our lives? All right. Speaking of what are we doing with our lives, let's talk about Star Wars comics.
All right.
All right, Star Wars comics this week. We had a Lando-centric Star Wars 37. All of a sudden, this is like the dark droid tie-in. It was all right. There was like 6 pages worth anything in this book. The rest of it was kind of a waste. Lobot all of a sudden gets like freaky. And he's like, "What's up? I'm going to start having galactic ships attack each other and blow each other up." And then Lando's like, "Shit, I know it's Lobot. We got to stop him." So then he takes like I don't know what the fuck that is. It's just a piece of metal and starts bashing Lobot in the side of the fucking dome until he shorts out, which whatever. Then he takes him over to the medical thing. He's like, "Hey, dude, check out Lobot." And he's like, "Well, you know that his technology on his head was actually imp technology." which I don't know if I ever realized that, or maybe I forgot it. And whatever it was, he just whatever. So it's M technology. He's never had the upgrades. Maybe that's why he's short circuiting. And Lando's like, cool, put it back normal. And by the way, I'm going to erase your brain, which is also kind of cool. He's got like the Men in Black thing, but for robots, which makes sense too. Which how he can, use all the robots, and then if he does, make whoopee with them, then afterwards he can erase their memory and stuff like that. I mean,
well, that's what he should have done instead of letting that one robot remember so she can tell everybody.
Yeah.
First of all, why don't you show freaking Lando in skin, man? He got his skin showing, man.
What?
Like he's walking around with no shirt on, freaking Lando.
Don't want shirtless Lando.
Is that what you want? Is shirtless Lando? Okay.
I don't want that to say it. It's shirtless Lando.
So it's kind of funny.
I thought his gold boxers were the more interesting thing about that. He's got to be silky smooth.
I know, right?
Even when he's sleeping, right?
You guys are criticizing a man who makes out with droids and then talking about his boxers. All right. I do think
just following up on that droid talk we just had.
Hey, what do you
Why?
you guys
had them all primed up.
You guys are
Move it up,
going to kill
Lando.
me today. You guys are going to kill me today. All right. So I did actually find that they explored some of the relationship between Lobot and how he kind of was really human before the implants, and then like that was slowly taking over, and that Lando might have made some bad moves, and that he actually used to advise him instead of just being like a console thing. But you get the little back and forth here where they really get to each other. He's like, hey, listen, this thing's eventually going to take over my mind. Talks about how Lando really does look out for himself. He thinks he's doing well, but he really is just putting all his friends in danger. Yeah, we hear that before. All right. Then Lando's running around looking for Leia, and guess what happens? Well, C-3PO is still part of Dark Droids, and this is stupid. I don't know why we have purple things for this. I'm looking forward less and less to this Dark Droid fucking
those two
storyline.
guys look at that holding Lando's unit.
Yeah.
Why is there a mouse droid in the middle of the Rebel Alliance? Hanging out with
that doesn't make sense. Remember, that's the one that
That's the one that
if you
floats
read the
in
book,
space.
that's the one that floated in space forever and somehow ended up on a Rebel fucking.
You didn't read
freight.
Droids 1? Wait,
No, I missed that one.
Oh, man, it's a classic.
He bullshits a little bit. Yeah, he bullshits a little bit, and they're like, "We're gonna go find this fucking droid to reset Lobot's shit." Except for Jabba's got the droid, and he's like, "I'm gonna fucking destroy you." And he throws him in. This is the shit that didn't make sense at all. He threw him into the pit with all the other fucking droids, but all the droids are seeing shit through purple, which means that they've been infected. So
Yeah,
they should be. This
Marco,
shit
you
didn't
kind
make
of
any
alluded to it. I don't understand, and this is a little thing. It's me being nitpicky.
No, it's
You're
not.
walking around and you see C-3PO with purple eyes, and you're like, okay, that's normal. You don't question that?
Yeah.
Why the fuck are your
No,
eyes?
nobody questions it.
Stop watching Barney the Dinosaur. Watching Barney the Dinosaur. It's just,
One does want a hint of color.
hey, you never know. He likes the Teletubbies, the purple Teletubby.
Holy shit! I
He
froze
likes
up
the
again.
nightlife. He likes
I don't know who's trying to freeze me out of the next comic book that's coming up, but stop doing it. You know I'm going to present this next comic book and talk truth to fact on the next one. But yeah, I agree,
right.
Jedi. I mean, the purple eye thing is stupid. It's dumb. I didn't even understand this ending because there's like, we're going to do all this stuff, and then he's like, fucking this book sucked. Star Wars sucks.
I assume it's for the readers. I'm assuming it's only for us readers. What's the word I'm looking for? For us readers to know that, okay, he's got purple eyes, which means he's under the influence of this virus. Maybe he's not actually. The other people are not actually seeing purple eyes. It's just for the reader's benefit. I guess.
Maybe, but who the fuck cares? It's stupid, anyways.
Yeah.
I do like that part of it. Okay,
That's the best stuff of this book. That's it.
but the parts that the droid part that they fixed in there with the purple shit is stupid. You know what I mean? Like that shit's yes, I like this part. Like he's taking about those little parts that we're talking about, Lobot and all the rest of the stuff and everything. But this part is just stupid. Yeah, I guess that's. But but in this scene back here, what's the infected droid? There's just purple shit everywhere. Who's infected? Are the guys with the red eyes that not infected, or they are infected, who's the one watching through the purple eye? I didn't fucking understand this shit.
It's just, I don't know, maybe
Because they kept doing more of it. Like half the droids look like they're looking through purple eyes, and then half of them are like, "Yeah, we're gonna fucking pull this guy apart." I didn't get it. Too complicated. Max Rebo, the greatest comic ever.
Peace.
I knew you could know that.
Amazing.
I knew it.
First off, we get to see some stuff in here. We get to see gunshots go by. They almost shot Max in the head, but he's all right. McSnoots is behind him. Then his drummers are starting to have a fight. They get this little droid thing, and then the droid says, "Kill Jabba," and this doesn't make any sense. And then, but what we do see is we get to get a debate here where Max, they show you his autonomy just for people like Pete and Wayseeker and Jedi. He does have a flashback of an old guy that used to be in the band. Doesn't make any sense either.
His mentor. Yeah.
That's the only reason you like it right there is because of that.
He then
There's
Max Rebo.
You want to know what it was? I'll be honest with this book. Let me tell you about this book. Every 5th page was good, and then there was just nonsense.
Well, you know,
like
it's
the
funny.
fucking.
It's
What?
kind of funny how they put the special edition picture with Boba Fett. That was the special. That was the when George Lucas went back and made Return of the Jedi and made the special edition that added scenes in it. I'm surprised they actually had the scene with Boba Fett with the girl when he came into Jabba's palace.
So that's what I'm saying. There was some. I did cut out a lot of the bullshit that like made absolutely no sense in this fucking book because there was a bullshit that didn't make any sense.
You're being
whole book.
selective. Okay.
So it goes through. Hey, Santa Staros, calm the fuck down. All right. Hey. So then the book wasn't about Max Rebo too. Like half the book was about the drummers, which really the drummer stuff didn't make sense because his dad apparently told him to kill Jabba, but then he goes out and gets shocked and sees his mom, who's like, "Don't kill Jabba," which made no fucking sense whatsoever. So if you take the drummer parts out, whatever. Max, however, is like he actually hates Jabba and he doesn't want to be in Jabba's palace because him and Snoots are kind of stuck there. He really wants to get out, so he's going to actually poison Jabba, and he's been thinking about doing it for a long time. When he has that nostalgic thing with his mentor, it's like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Plus, Jabba had something to do with that. Eventually, I'm going to kill him, and now's the fucking time. He goes out to go do it, but then Han Solo gets thrown in. Or wait, no.
That's when they discover Solo hanging on the wall, or Leia trying to free Solo.
Frost.
Now he's freezing.
Han Solo gets
Yeah.
Froze, I'm back. Am I back?
You're back.
Yeah, you're back here.
Unfortunately.
In the meantime, the drummers, for some reason, comes back and is like, "Yo, what's up?" And he doesn't say anything. So they're like, "Fuck, that's not good. We're going to have a problem." However, the Han Solo or Luke Skywalker is treated like a hero by all the other dancing girls because they tell Rebo that there's a handsome young man in a black robe that avenged, what's her name? Ula, the slave dancer, which we heard we were never going to get referred to again, Dom, but they did refer to her, and that they revenged her for getting eat up by the Rancor. Then we get to see Dogface get eat by the Sarlacc. The one thing I was disappointed, we did not get to see Boba Fett fall into the Sarlacc pit. But while all that goes down, whose hand is that hitting the lights and doing the Zart? Oh, don't worry about it. We'll see it in a little bit. The drummers decide to start a fight. Max is like, fuck this. I've had enough. I wanted to kill him. You guys need to stop fighting. And he cries. Oh, poor Max. Then all of a sudden he turns around and what does he get to see? The one thing that Dom said we'll never see again. Slave fucking Leia.
I got a question.
Shadow.
Who the fuck is that? That's slave fucking Leia in the Leia slave Leia costume.
It's all shaded in. You don't see it.
Dude, she literally has got the chain thing around her for her boobies.
Oh, well, we got a bigger problem than the cleavage. Whoever drew that silhouette, that
Looks
one
like she got
thing
penis.
Hanging down is in a pretty. It's in a weird spot.
It is a weird spot. Weird spot.
Yeah.
It was a Dr. Clog hanging down. Then it was a turd. Yeah, I get it. But that's slave Leia. We never gonna see her again, and we saw her again. So there we go, choking out fucking Jabba, keeping everybody happy. So now we got a Boba sighting. Huh?
Greatest first appearance of all time, according to Dom, right here.
Well, no, it's one of the greatest first appearance. Well, it's not her first appearance. She did appear. Well, yeah, but it is the first appearance because the book of Boba Fett didn't come out yet.
Yep, this is it, right here.
That's it.
Dom's bought 100
Do we
copies.
know that's her? Do we
That
know
is her.
it is her?
Yeah, yep, it is.
Guards of Whip.
Jennifer Beals.
Yeah, Jennifer Beal, flash dancer.
Leia has a secret. So hey, look at all the entertainment. And tell me this book isn't good. We got 3 people laughing, 1 giggling, and somebody making penis jokes. I mean, that's a great book. What? Yes, go ahead, Jedi.
All right. Well, okay. So
Yeah, we got
leading
first
up to
appearance.
this, I was kind of reminded of the mystique of Boba Fett, and then when we got more Boba Fett, we were like, okay, he's old man Boba. He's not interesting. we had all this build up, at least in our own minds, about Max Rebo, some secret spy. He's there doing this, that. And what we got was emo Rebo walking around all depressed and like, woe's me. Throughout the entire freaking thing. And then the one thing I wanted to see is how he escaped the barge.
That
we
is
didn't even get to
okay.
see that.
I will give you that. The one thing they should have done was not focus on the drummer and get the escape. The one thing that I did like was now we understand that he was actually trying to kill Jabba the Hutt. By the way, he does say that he escaped.
You're freezing again.
I think this is setting up another story. Okay, am I unfrozen?
Now you're unfrozen.
Still frozen.
Now you are.
I'm unfrozen. Okay. He does say, I think this is setting up for another story because he does say at one point that he was, like
nobody wants another story.
We need another.
Oh, absolutely.
Wants another story.
We need another
Absolutely.
one.
Dom just bought 1,000 of these because of the first appearance. There's a bunch of first appearances. It gives you Slave
How
Leia.
much 1,000 of everything without caring about the story?
Max Rebo's.
Yeah.
You are reckless.
Speaking of this, okay, so next week we've got Vader. I don't fucking know if I want to read this, but I will. And then we've got this, which Dom, once again, being reckless, he's going to order this because
He's
It
getting
was so
9.8
good.
of this one. Not just order it. He's getting a 9.8.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting the
This
man.
is the second. This is the
I do.
second pick, right?
I'll try. Hey, listen, I'll try, but if I leave because I started this, I don't know if I can leave and come back. The thing will start. Well, I'll give it a shot. We're either going to stop Star Wars really early or I'm going to jump out and come back in.
No, you
But
can't.
if-
no,
I
you're
did
good
it. I had
right
to do it on Friday.
Okay.
I had to do it on Friday.
Even though it says if you leave this page, it will shut down. It confirms that I want to leave the
It didn't
page.
say
Leave the
that.
page.
I was able to exit all the way out and then come back on Friday.
Yeah.
Nope. Well, he exited out, but
Now we got no content.
yeah, I was gonna say no. Once you leave, you're what are you sharing? It's
Well,
gonna
we'll
be
see.
gone.
Well, yeah. So Slave Leia was in a silhouette, so it really didn't count as Slave Leia.
Hey, I didn't crash the fucking channel.
Yeah, you're back.
What'd you say about Save Leia?
You
I'm
gotta
saying that
upload
it
the
was a
comments again.
silhouette.
Though.
It wasn't.
We don't have to upload it. You just have to go to
Yeah.
I got it.
that one thing and
Let Dom talk about
Yeah,
Slave Leia. I know
yeah.
how to work this.
I was saying that it was a silhouette. It wasn't full color. Up
Holy
as
shit.
well.
It's her.
Oh my god, Dom, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you get what you need. All right, so I did shut that down. Yeah, not looking forward to either one of these next week, so that's okay. FOC, I kind of just like how many Empire covers are we gonna get for like the Sprouse ones? Because like,
I think we're getting a few. There's
but like there's one. It's every fucking one is an Empire
It's
cover. Dude.
everyone.
No,
Every
Jedi.
fucking one.
well, there's the 40th anniversary Jedi. Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, it's Jedi. The Jedi. cover.
No,
40th anniversary. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Emperor though. Yeah,
Oh,
everyone
Emperor.
is.
Well, you're
look,
saying Empire.
it's the Emperor. No,
Yeah,
not
well,
Empire. Sorry, the Emperor.
Not really. Yeah, really?
There's a
It's like the
bunch.
sixth one.
I
yeah, there's a bunch.
like that Darth Vader cover. That I don't know if it's the A cover or what.
I do too.
It wasn't.
I was gonna make it smaller, but that's why.
Ewoks. That's Jedi's favorite cover right here. Ewoks with the
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
one.
they
But
were.
I'm saying overall, there's like 6 of them
Yeah.
coming out for
I
this.
don't see no Ewoks.
Not on this. Oh Jesus, this show's fucking gone way the fuck off the rails. Jedi, what do you think of the Padme fucking Clone Wars cover? Because that could not be her actually. It could be Sydney.
I don't know what to think about it. At first, I thought it was just some.
What do you mean? It
cheap-ass
says her name right there on the cover.
You don't know. You don't
Right
know.
above the barcode.
Yeah, but that's what people used to call her. Go ahead, Jedi. Don't interrupt Jedi when he's coming to a conclusion.
No, is this from? What is this from? What is this
I don't fucking
homaging?
know.
I mean, at first I thought it was some internal art that they just threw on the cover, and then I'm like, no, that can't be
the
it.
Clone Wars cartoon. That's what it's for.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's
that's what the
it's when she's in
anniversary
the
is for.
palace.
Yeah.
It's when is it when she's in the palace and they walk over, they're taking over the palace on Naboo.
It's not Sabe, so I don't care.
All right. There's the other connecting cover, and I really like Wayseeker like that. Darth Vader, the A cover, is probably the best of the fucking bunch. So
Hey, speaking about that droid, right? You see the droid, the C-3PO unit.
oh, there's the sex
New one?
droid for the one.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that red
What's that?
droid on the he looks pretty relaxed. I don't like he's just like, the only thing missing is a cigarette. He looks like he's just,
Get out of here.
True.
All right. Also, oh fuck this dog
No,
shit.
I'm not ordering any of these. I refuse. I'm not doing it.
Hey, the first appearance of Reva
Don't care.
Is it? Because she
And young
appeared on
Leia.
cover already.
young Luke, and Haji. Oh, Haji.
Is that the only cover? Yeah, I'm gonna
Haji.
say, yeah, I'm gonna get those.
Isn't
Oh, we
that
got more.
from,
Johnny Quest? What are you talking about?
You got.
What's
You
his
got
name? Yo, what was his name in this?
I hope the whole comic is just Obi-Wan like slicing up the whale. Like that's page after page of him.
They're gonna have a big
Yeah,
I think it
is.
for Pete. He's stealing the whale meat.
Yeah, well, that's what we need. We need to stay, and we get the. That's why you get the 1 in 100 too. That has his best friend. There it is.
Scott knows. So this
That's pretty cool,
Pete put something in the chat or whatever about the 1 in 100. Did you do something like FOC books or something, or did we talk about it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I wasn't listening. If we talked about, sorry.
I'm
But
surprised.
It was on your Wednesday show, right? Or maybe
Yeah, I just put in FOC books and I put that one
You know
in
what? I
there.
have a feeling.
yeah, well, I
Book of
obviously
Boba
didn't
Fett.
listen to that because I was on the show. So go ahead,
We're
Dom.
not getting the Book of Boba Fett comic because this was supposed to come out after the Book of Boba Fett. This is the newest stuff. So once they come out with this, I don't think the Book of Boba Fett's coming out at all.
Oh,
You
it
know
will.
what?
They're
That's
just
a good thing. That's a good
You
thing.
just really need that first appearance of all the Vesper
I just
riders.
want the Boba Fett covers.
But this does bring up. So this,
No.
seeing this again and hearing Pete talk about it, I guess maybe opened up something that Jedi had said, and Dom's always like, "Well, I'm going to buy it because it's going to be expensive. It's going to be worth something." Where I was like, "No," and then Jedi at one time said, "What do you think the price of a 1 in 100 is?" So I did some calling, I did some calculating, and I did some looking up. And right now we're going to look at the Max Rebo stuff just really quickly. So this is available right now. So I crossed out people's names so we didn't, just so we could see where the price is for this, right? So these are 1/100s. There's a bid, got 2 days left, 50. There's a bunch of people asking ridiculous, like 289, 300, 249. The bottom row is 269, 239, right? I know they're fishing. Pre-sales were 140, and this guy, I don't know. Oh, I didn't cross these off, but I did on a different page, so maybe I could.
So it doesn't matter. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
it doesn't
Everybody
matter.
can look that
But
up. It's there.
289.99, and I mean we're not going to know but he sold that June 2nd.
June 2nd.
June 2nd, which is like weird. So I'm not going to talk about pre-sales because Don doesn't pre-buy anyways. But the week of 149, 139, so $140. And I called some friends because like if you remember like 2016, right? That's really when 1 in 100s I would say started getting like some pub and like pricing out what it cost then. And they would sell like an average. So this is an average book, right? Max Rebo is an average book. Yeah, there's one slow
average.
hanging.
Average is overselling it, but yeah.
Hey,
go on.
what I'm saying. So is Obi-Wan. So is
No,
the
I think what he
Mandal-
means, it's not like a hot title.
It's not a hot title. It's not something where like people are like, damn, I really have to get this.
Not the
I'm just
quality of the content.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's like Joe when he was doing the like Joe Q when he was doing the like 1 in 100 sketch covers, so it's not that shitty. But it's not like in 2016, this type of book would sell for $100 the week up. You'd get about 5 or 6 sales, just like this. You get 4 or 5 sales at 139. Same thing. So I think, and I was kind of looking at the price of it, and it does make sense when you're thinking that, and you're gonna have to follow me on this math because I didn't have enough time to do it on a sheet for everybody. But if you look at what it is, the price increase that retailers got from 2016, because back then a 1 in 100 roughly was $196. That's pretty much what their cost price was. If you're not talking, I mean, it includes all the 1 in 50s, the 25s, the 10s.
You're getting
and
all the other books too, but you had to spend that much.
But realistically, you're 1 in 1.
Oh, you're breaking up now.
You sound like an AI in an AI.
100 cost you.
Do you believe?
I know I got attacked for making fun of that guy and his AI. So I'm just talking about the average. If we take a
Marco, you got to restart your router.
Every time you try to make a point,
You got to restart the router.
the
Going
Q
out,
stores like
out.
what's the one?
You got to go.
yeah,
Dude, the
you're
router's
just-
gonna take like
you
8 hours to
misfollow that.
restart.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
Can't do it, dude. It won't, dude. It won't make it back for the rest of the show. All right. My point is
hear you
this. So,
now.
like, if you take away the big guys, if you take away the big guys, like the guy, what's their names out in New York? What's the guy out in New York? What's his name?
Which one?
Big
Which
store
guy?
that you go to, Dom.
Oh,
What's the
Big
store
Guy.
you go to,
Big
Dom? Midtown. If you take them out, if you're just talking the average guy, it was about
Guy.
196 for your 1 to 100.
Store.
Well, the store, yeah, 16, right? Now, what was it? It was average about $300, just because it's $350 to be honest with you. What you have to do with the prices on it. So we're looking at like the difference in the price. Now I'm all screwed up because of this router. But either way, a 40% increase is kind of what you're looking at either way with it. So I think 139 actually is the sitting price for an average book, and this is a $5 book too. Man, I'll go fix the router and retry to do it. You guys have to.
It's probably not your router. What else you got going on? You got a virus scan running or something?
No, it has to do with Wayseeker. Whenever he goes out and comes in, he couldn't hear. They came back in and load something up, and whenever he does that, it screws me.
You
up.
always play me about something.
Computers just.
It was.
I think it was
Now,
your
you
computer.
see these books, these 1/100s.
Mhm.
If you like go onto the comic websites and they have this for sale, you can get it for a cheaper price at that particular time. Once it does drop, it does have a significant
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're talking week of. Like if you really feel like you can't get the book, like you don't want to wait, like you told us, Dom, and
You done.
So I can actually see if I could just jump in and give my 2 cents on this. I don't know anything about the numbers.
Like, don't spend.
No, good.
God damn. Hey, Wayseeker, I'm gonna reset it, but I'm booting you if it doesn't fucking work.
I guess my 2 cents on this is, and I don't know anything about the numbers that Marco crashed, so I'm not a numbers guy, but I could see this thing maybe staying above ratio, at least. Now, not the one person that was asking like 200 or something dollars. That's a bridge
That's
too
absurd.
far. But,
Yeah.
I mean, but Max Rebo, you do have Max Rebo collectors out there, and he doesn't get a ton of covers, really. So, and all you need is that one buyer, right? So you could just keep fishing with this thing for a while, I think.
Well, I think that's the problem. You're just looking for that one buyer, but the point is, there's how many copies did you show that were listed? There's just a dozen copies sitting there, so one buyer.
You're gonna have to.
Look.
Yeah,
I
you'll
think
have to wait.
12 hooks in there.
$20 book.
You'll have to wait until all the low hanging fruit is picked, and then you'll keep your stuff where it is.
I'm with Jedi. I'll wait till they come this graded because once they get it graded, it's going to drop in value. Probably we'll probably be able to pick it up a 9.8 for cheaper.
I'm not gonna pick it up regardless, but
I think it's a $20 book. That's what I think it is because it's a piece of trash. I don't think anybody cares.
That being said,
I don't know, Wayseeker. I don't know, man. You can't be shitting on Marco's pride and glory.
What do you think? Okay. Wayseeker? What do you think the C3PO 1 in 100 Dark Droids is that a $20 book?
Dark Droids.
The C3PO 1 in 100.
It might go 25 in long term.
All right. Well, if you see it, snag it.
$5.
I mean, we're talking a year from now, right? When nobody remembers it.
Well, you know what?
People might not remember it, but it'll still have.
I mean, you can find it.
You might be able to get lucky if you go in auction. If it goes in auction, you might be able to get it snag it cheaper in auction. So sometimes people won't really bid, and then you snipe them at the last
There's
second.
a couple at 98. There's a couple right at ratio, Jedi.
Yeah.
But look at all of the
I'm not going to pay
1-100.
ratio for it.
No, I wouldn't either.
Look at all
I think
the
you got
1
a
in
shot
100s from the
75.
2015 Star Wars run. Like the first 30 issues all had 1 in 100s, right? And
Well,
even
they
some of the
printed-
last ones, they're so rare. You can find those for $15 to $20. Not
Well, they
regularly.
printed millions
Yeah, but
those.
with the exception of
That's
the
like
sketch
super.
cover. I'm sorry.
Those, I'm just going to say, unless I'm wrong, those 2015 Star Wars high ratios. I mean, that was a super high print run on that. Maybe one of the highest ever.
Hey, look, the sketch covers. Remember the sketch covers? You can get it for pennies, and then all of a sudden, Black K showed up, and all of a sudden the sketches went up. A lot of the books, like the heist. What was the heist book with Han Solo? That the black and white books. They had a Leo, they had a Han.
Yeah.
Those books are up there in value. It all depends on what people want. Like that Max Rebo, I guarantee he'll probably stay at the 150 ratio.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, I don't see it going down any below that.
Since we're killing a little bit of time, I want to go back to Obi-Wan real quick. I will probably pick up the A cover of the Obi-Wan that has little Leia on it, just because Vivian Lyra Blair is adorable. She is the granddaughter that neither one of my sons seem to ever want to give me. So I will probably pick that one up. She's
There you
because
go.
I've watched her like do a couple of signings. She is just adorable. What?
Hey, listen, Jedi, I could be the grandson you want.
I say nothing about no grandson.
You can read him those Star Wars books, like the new Mando book.
There you go.
I will be shocked.
I need
if
grandchildren
right
to
now,
share
right
my
now,
hobby with because my kids can give a shit.
Let me tell you.
August of 2024, that 1/100 Rebo, I will be shocked if it's over $40.
It'll still be over 40.
It'll be over 40.
I'll be.
People don't let things go. They don't. They just
By the time that happens, there's going to be a whole bunch of other 100s. I guarantee coming out.
Yeah, it's fine. It doesn't have any saying on what the other ones were. People are going to go on to the next thing. They're going to forget about it.
Listen,
Yeah, no, all I'm saying is though they're still going to ask. Like the sellers are just going to leave it there, just sitting on the branch forever.
Yeah.
Right
Listen,
at
I want the
ratio.
1 to
At
100.
the minimum, it'll be
Book of
$100
Boba Fett.
sitting there
That's what I
forever.
want.
Yeah, because their investment's going to be too high just to take that.
They had to give it up.
Too low. I think.
Oh,
When Marco was cutting in and out, I think the point he was trying to make was that in 2016, comics were what, $3?
Yeah.
$2.99. So if you had to order 100, even if you're getting a close to 50% discount with the, as a store or whatever it might be, you were still investing. What if he was saying like 100,
hey,
whatever,
quick question. Did
to
everybody
get that 1 in 100? But today at $5,
Yeah.
it's costing you a bit more to get that 1 in 100 as a store. So
Did
the price is going to be a bit
Did
more.
everybody's comments like freeze? The
What?
comments are moving.
I think nobody's talking because we're not doing anything.
No, what's the last comment that people have?
No, it froze again. So it did it on Friday, Mark. Pete, that's
Yeah.
what I was telling you. The StreamYard comment.
I sent them a message, but I didn't have anything to send them.
Yeah,
Yes.
it started running. It did that for like 20 minutes, and then suddenly it started running again.
It ruined one of the best freaking things we had. It was,
Yeah, this is the last
the
comment
best
we
old
got.
man segment ever.
yeah, exactly.
The best get off my lawn segment ever was ruined by StreamYard.
Okay, there it moved. There it went. There it goes.
There they go.
There it goes.
All of them came through.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
I showed one.
Yeah. So,
Is it Marco's fault? I blame
Yeah, it's
Marco.
definitely Marco's fault. Marco ruined it all.
yeah, like I said, I know the Star Wars books really aren't the best part of the Star Wars stuff that's coming out now, but it is entertaining because think about it. All this stuff happened before Return of the Jedi without not even a mention of one thing. Like if you're gonna do a special edition, at least have Luke go like this. Remember the droids? They went crazy. Say something,
What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like, this is all before Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense that all of this takes
Yeah,
place.
it's all before
One
the.
year. I agree with you, Dom. But
You
there's no
know?
way they're going to go back in time and redo Return of the Jedi
you
so
never
you can
know.
put dark
If
droids in
Lucas-
there.
If Lucas still owned Star Wars, he would have probably made special editions.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, and that is
Yeah.
That's why
We
you
wouldn't
don't
be
want
here.
them back.
we wouldn't be here if he did that. I wouldn't be here. You guys could have been sitting here talking about
You know
this
what's
shit.
weird?
I would
I'm
not have been
sitting
sitting here
there-
talking about this shit if he got his hands on it again.
What's weird, Jedi? What happened?
No, never mind. I was way behind. I was sitting there because I got YouTube running over here just for quality assurance, right? And I was looking at it and I was like, why the hell is Marco still on here? And then I realized I was like 15 minutes behind.
Yeah,
the
sometimes
live
it you don't notice it and it leaves you behind.
Yeah.
Weird.
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 Yep.
He's back.
Yeah,
Wizard.
Do you have the combination to the air shield?
I did. I forgot it. I had to go upstairs, run down, and
1, 2,
I
3,
did-
4, 5.
I don't even know why we have it because we just have it written on a whiteboard, right where everybody can see it. So, whatever. I forgot exactly what I was saying. I'm not gonna try to reload that.
You're talking about the prices of the.
Yeah. I mean, I had a whole breakdown of it, but now
I was trying to recap what you might have been saying when you were
What was
cutting
I
in and
saying?
out.
Oh, cool.
Like the cost. Like
cost.
Yeah, so the cost did go. I mean,
years
like
ago, it's a different price than what
Yeah,
it is today.
the cost, but you think it is, but so like the cost of the book, even in 2016, like the average cost of the book, what did you think it was?
I said I didn't know if it was $3.
$3.99.
It's $3.99. It's $4.
Or
same
was
as
it
is now.
$3.99? Oh, I was thinking $2.
Yeah.
I thought we were
No.
drawing the line at $2.99.
Only
No,
for
I think
DC.
$3.99.
DC. That was the end. In 2016 was the end of $2.99 for DC. But really, I mean, the variant game was huge with Marvel. I mean, they were the ones pushing out
Yeah,
1
no, I
100s
know.
at that point, anyways.
Yeah, DC wasn't doing it.
DC really wasn't doing it. But yeah, I mean, when you break it down, it's almost like a 42% increase. So for a 1 in 100, for an average 1 in 100 that was selling back in 2016, $100 the week of was the average price. Now you're having to sell 42% more either way. So like to have a book at $40 above, I think that's pretty reasonable. I just don't understand why people would spend $300 for it or whatever. And to be honest with you, Dom's right, and we've said this before. Those books come back down to about $80 when they fall off. I mean, that's where
it's different times though too.
Yeah. Oh no, it is, but you also can't be mad at the seller. Like they're making
No.
less...
I'm not saying mad at the sell. What I'm trying to get at is even back in the 2015, 2016 time.
Yeah.
Like the big stores.
Yeah.
Even like Midtown we're talking about. They
Right.
still sold even the incentives at a discount.
They would
of
it
the
for
ratio,
under.
of the ratio.
Yeah.
At that price.
Yeah.
They would sell a 1 in 100 maybe for like $67 or something like
Yeah,
that.
but that was because
No, it's just what
they
their normal pricing.
that was
They
what
would have
Midtown does to everybody else. But the average place would just try to recoup out of the 1 in 100. So what they would do is like if your regular book, like they could run sweeter deals. Like your regular book would be like buy cover A and B you get for $1. You know, pay regular price for A, you get B for $1 because you only had to sell 42 copies back then. Now you have to sell 78 copies just to get of just the regular shit just to get up to close to where you have to get.
But let me ask you a question now.
Yeah.
Does every store get that 1 in 100? No, right?
Only if you buy 100. But yes. Now you're forking over $324 compared to 196.
And they probably only get one copy because they're not going to buy that many.
Well, I don't know that motherfucker that sold that
That's
one
what
for
I'm saying.
280
You're gonna
pre-sale.
order 100 copies, you're going to be like Marco said, you're spending 300 whatever. You're getting your 1 in 100, your 2 1 in 50s, your 4.
But you got to remember too, you could sell. I mean, a lot of those 1 in 10s would sell for $5. You get $5 out of that. You can't do that anymore. You have to sell the 1 in 10s for 10 or. I mean, the 1 in 10s don't even fucking sell anymore.
Well,
like,
look,
when's the last time for a 1 in 100?
1 in 10s are very rare when it comes to Marvel books, like Star Wars.
1 in
books.
Yeah, they don't
10s?
do them anymore. They
They
don't do
don't
them
really
at all.
do-
The 1 in 15s or whatever the fuck it is, 125. But
No,
even the
that's what I
1 in
mean.
25
They've just kind of really, they're fucking jumping high.
all the
I
way
mean,
to
look,
1 in
that
100.
Venom book, they're doing 1 in 200s and 1 in 300s.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm sorry. What I'm saying is you could sell the 1 in 10s for $5. You could sell the 1 in 25s for $15-20. You could sell the 1 in 50s for $40. And that makes now your 1 in 100s free.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. They're not doing the lower ratios as
Right.
much
So
anymore.
you have to
You're
have a
just
higher
jumping.
expense. Right. So you have to have a higher expense on those. So
Now
of
the
course, a 1 in 100, the price of a 1 in 100, when you're saying it's a ratio of 1 in 100, yeah, but it's always a price thing. It's not about it's one.
No,
you
I
get
know.
you.
But,
So
but
like
that's
the
what
price,
I'm saying. But that's what I'm getting at is like they don't
Yeah.
have a 1 in 25. They just
Right.
you have to get the 100. Like
yeah.
Like,
You have to buy it
Obi-Wan,
up.
does Obi-Wan have a 1 in 25?
I don't fucking.
I don't
they
think
got
it
so many
does.
covers with
I
that.
think it's
Now,
just
now,
regular,
look,
regular,
look,
regular,
crazy.
regular, 100.
Well,
Like,
look,
the
it's
Yoda's
crazy.
head.
Even Joe came up with it. Even they come up with a second print of this is bullshit because this book didn't sell to come out with that second printing.
He isn't.
Well-
He isn't. He's just not.
That's another thing too.
Well, that is true, but it's the same thing with Dark Droids. Like they announced the second print before Dark Droids 1 even hit the
I know.
shelves.
And that's supposed to be coming out next week, though, George. Already?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
second print's
usually
coming out
they-
next week.
Yeah, using
Despite the fact that you can still get the first print off of shelves.
But
I know.
I know stores had to order them and they sold out.
no. What I'm saying is, I think the 1 in 100s, the 130, 140 is not a bad price for it. This second print shit's on a whole different level. That's
Oh, well,
just
no.
that's just overinflation to try to gouge somebody. Like the 140 is, even though ratio is a 1 in 100, 140 just is what the price is now because you're not getting lower ratios to make up the difference for the seller. You're not getting, I mean, that's what it should be the week of. I think that should be the new price. And what I'm saying is, I think that's a reasonable new price. If you spend 140 or less on the week of, that 100% is a reasonable price. If you're buying second prints that aren't even out yet because the first print hasn't even come out yet, you're a fucking moron. Can we just agree you're a fucking moron? You're
I'm
ruining
with
the
it.
comic book industry at that
I'm
point.
with it.
Hey,
You're ruining the comic book industry at that point. If you're,
one copy.
I think like sometimes it comes off
Two.
too hard. What I guess I'm saying is, I
Not
think
more than
sometimes it
one
comes.
copy of that Boba Fett cover.
I'm buying 2 copies.
2.
Getting it graded.
Yeah, 2.
I'm gonna do some grade. I'm gonna start grading my own books now.
Good. Stop paying people to grade a.
Anyways, I think my point was like sometimes
Well.
we come off too hard, like, oh, don't buy that shit because it's not worth it. where I think there is a going rate when you want to buy it. However, exactly what Dom said, like what he's doing is bad. It's bad for comics, and he's ruining comics.
Listen, like I said, I collect the Fett covers. I can't help it. He's a Fett cover in the second printing, so I have a feeling that
him
book.
buying one of the second print is not ruining it. That's not ruining it. It's when you pre-buy the 1 in 25 of that second print, then you're spending $60 before that book's even released, and the second print of it's even released. That is a different story.
And Joe, it is now, because your average percent discount was supposedly about 50. I mean, it really kind of was in 2016, about 55%. Now they said over 70% of the people had that 55% plus discount. 55% was roughly where it's at. Now that discount's like 30%.
Yeah, like, it's not there anymore. Well,
it's flat rate 30, is it 35? Whatever it is. It's flat rate now, and it's a lot different. So the same price for a book for a $4.99. That's why the price of the 1/100 went up. But also, on top of what they did to retailers, where they took away the 10s, the 15s, the 25s, the 50s to try to make your way up. Because if you could sell those for half price or whatever, you could get your $100 back.
You
so
you can chunk it out, and you're
you can chunk it out. But these small guys now are getting. Now you have to sell 72 copies. You have to sell 72 copies of a fucking book. Of a 100 book just to start getting back in there, man. That's fucking absurd. That's fucking absurd. Just to make your money back. I mean, fuck this.
Let me ask you a question now.
So go ahead.
No, I'm saying, no, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go.
I was going to say about the books, these stories that are coming out. Like you have a story of Max Rebo, how he kind of survived the whole Jabba stuff and this and that.
But that's now, not the story we got. But yes,
I know. But when you see these characters now, and you watch the movie again, you have a different view on seeing what happened now, knowing that like the obscured characters part of the story.
Do I watch Return of the Jedi differently now that I saw Max Rebo crying in the background as he tried to poison Jabba? No, not really.
Okay,
dude. Now that I do think that the added thing of that he was there to poison Jabba, that's interesting. I do find that. The other shit in the book, was fucking trash.
Like one panel. We got him down.
Just one panel. It's a couple pages. No.
Because of that,
there's
one
5 pages. Plus, we got Slave Land and everything else. But I'm saying the drummer storyline was pretty trash.
Dom still won't accept
the drummer stuff was pretty trash. But also, too, what I'm saying is for these books where they have when you're charging that much to the retailer and charging that much to people, there has to be something done. The overpaying is what they give us when they give these virgin fucking books, which are dog shit, when you're thinking about how much you're actually fucking paying for this shit. That's more of the problem. The inside story is bad on some of these books. Max was a 50-50 book. It definitely wasn't Santa Starro's really dog shit.
Oh, and by the way, wait, Seeker, you wasn't here last week? The Boba Fett book last week? I liked it.
I called it. I called that story.
No, you did call it.
Yeah, I did. That's all I want to say. I
did like it.
Called what? No, I 100% called that story. Told you what it was going to be about, and told you that it sucked. And guess what? It sucked.
No. That thing sucked. Going after the doll. That's what I said.
Yeah. Listen,
but he doesn't go after the doll.
He does. He's called to. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Poop.
Yeah, that thing was horrible.
I miss my dad. It's a good story about the.
Yeah, it's worse. It's worse. It's worse. Discounts on horses.
I didn't pay attention. I zoomed through last week's episode because I was so busy. But I heard Dom being like, I miss my dad. And I'm like, I don't even want to get into this because this is the most nonsensical conversation.
I know.
This piece of basically book makes me miss my dad. Like, how
basically
much
Marco and I were ready to pounce. And then Dom Tober starts talking about his dead, his passed away father.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't talk about
over the heartstrings.
Yeah, I think really. I'm still not sure that was just all a shit on, and we fell for it. I'm not sure that's what happened. I think he might have just fucking pulled some bullshit so we would shit on Boba Fett.
No. It was really based on that. The story I really wanted to see, Boba Fett all sweating, armor beat up. I got the doll.
Agreed, Terry.
And freaking Stinky takes the doll, looks at it, and throws it away. He doesn't want it. He goes, "You son of a..." And then he get that story. Damn.
I agree.
Had was Max Rebo. If we could have got Max Rebo going to poison Jabba's drink, and then Boba Fett's like, "No, let me have a little bit of that drink," and then he drinks it, and that's the end. He goes,
no, he drinks it, and that's why he was able to get knocked in the Sarlacc pit because he was all drugged up. There you go.
There you go.
I do think, guys. I
Oh,
think
that
this
is-
though. I think if we sit it at one, like if people start becoming, I know Joe, you don't buy at that price, and probably Terry doesn't. But if we do start telling people like, hey, that is it, and it gets the mood that we're at 140, no more, and it starts dropping it, they're gonna start going back and doing other stuff, like adding in smaller incentives, because that's what Marvel will do, and they'll change the fucking cover so we don't have to see bullshit. Dom, we just gotta stop. We gotta stop the Doms of the world.
No,
Stop buying the bullshit.
The Doms of the world are
No.
leaving the industry. They are.
No,
They're
the problem
No, they're not.
problem with
They're
the covers-
always there.
The problem with the
Believe
covers, yeah, remember they used to do a second print, used to take the panel from like one of the pages in the comic and make the pat for the second printing, and it used to be cool. Now they're just changing the color. You have a color, hey, Star Wars is in blue, Star Wars is in
Stop
yellow.
buying it though, Dom. So this is it. You're no longer allowed to buy any 1/100s that are above $140 because you're getting ripped off.
Okay.
You're getting ripped off. Okay. This is the rules. We're gonna write down rules that never buy a second print ever. Ever,
Alright,
ever,
Omar.
ever, ever, ever,
The
ever.
rules.
It's just
No,
a
but the
reprint.
Boba Fett's in the cover. Come on.
It's a reprint of inside art. So okay, no more second print, no more second prints that are more than $1. Okay, and that way we can reset this
If
market.
it's Boba Fett in the cover, I buy it. Nothing else. I'm not gonna buy it.
You're talking about new, hot off the presses. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
if you stumble across a Darth Vader 3 in a $1 box, buy that second print.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's all I'm talking. No,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not-
definitely.
I'm talking about random bullshit fucking Dark Droid second print fucking just because it has some dog shit character on the cover.
You know what the whole
Guys,
thing is?
I think with all
The purplish on the cover, it steps it out. It's like the bounty hunters with Boba Fett and death sticks. The purple.
dude, that shit didn't work. That shit didn't work originally and sat in dollar bin boxes before the pandemic, and that's exactly why they moved away from that. We've seen it
You
happen
would think,
before.
though,
We can do it again, folks. We can comic book community. We can come together. We can't agree on fucking dick all. We can agree on this. Get rid of this horse shit because it's bad. Just changing the color of the fucking logo, doing interior pages, and removing that. I don't think there's one person that's like, wow, that's really good and worth it. So comic book, all you idiots that talk to all you other fucking idiots out there, just go, hey, idiots, let's stop fucking supporting this, and then we can bring the price
Idiot
back.
tonight.
Yes. All of
you would
us
think,
idiots
though,
should do
like
that.
with all the, it seems like
JJ's
every
here.
comic
Speaking
book,
AKA.
every comic book that comes out nowadays,
JJ, what up?
give or take, is they all have like X number of exclusives that come out, store exclusives, and every one of those store exclusives, they have to buy what, 3,000-4,000 total comics.
at least 3.
So now you're looking at a
Three.
1 in 100. That's like 40 1 in 100 comics that are going to hit the market one way or the other. So you would think that the prices on these 1 in 100s would, well, they do, right? They do,
But
one of the
that's
reasons why they
not week
eventually
of. We were only talking week of. So week of, that's what I'm saying. Like week of price, we're not talking fucking ultimate. Week of price 140 is reasonable. If they're trying to get you for more than that, if you just set that as a line, because that is the actual value of week one. That if you want it when it first comes out, that's the price. If not, you're going to get it for under $80 because that's what happens with every one of these motherfuckers. Go look at that Stormtrooper one that Dom said's fucking amazing, is going to sell forever. Isn't that fucker selling for under $80 now?
What's Soldier Board?
I don't fucking know. Rebels, Empire,
what title
whatever
it
the
was,
fuck.
Oh.
It just was the Stormtrooper one where, well, Dom, you say that about every book. I mean, I get them all confused. At this point.
We'll review it. I think it'll be fun to review. A year from now, all of the 1/100s. Like I said, I don't think they're going to be. I think they're going to be $40 or lower. That might be too low for some people, but I think 40 bucks
that's
is
low.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think
too-
it's.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think they're all
they're
good to
gonna
that low.
So
What's that, Pete?
I'm not
year
saying
from
a
now.
copy won't sell for that amount. Like somebody will throw some shit up for auction and it'll end on a Wednesday or some odd day. And
Yeah, fuck around and find out. Yeah. I'm saying, like, I do think you're never gonna go see the dollar bin 1/100s anymore. I don't think that. I think that's fucking ships. Don't say nah, Dom. It was for a very fucking
I know,
long
it was
time
for
that
a
shit was
long time.
happening.
But you know what? People are just
Well,
because people had a lot more of them. Now I think people are just they're not buying as many comics as they used to.
They're buying more.
Not-
Dom,
not-
they're buying more.
I don't know about that.
Over the pandemic, there was more comics sold. I mean, it literally saved the comic book industry. There was so much shit being sold, Dom.
But now,
Dom, I've been around this for a long time, dude.
I know you've been
I
around.
was,
I'm just
I
saying.
was at one point having conversations going, holy shit, I'm looking like an asshole because I said the 90s will never. What did Joe just say here? We learn from history that we don't
Do not learn from
fucking shit always repeat pretty much. We don't learn anything. I was like, holy shit, No, stay the line. It's not going to be the 90s again. It's not going to be the 90s again. And you know what the fuck we had? The goddamn 90s again, bro. Everything down to a fucking glow-in-the-dark covers to
foil
covers
we
and
got
shit.
swimsuit edition comics coming out.
Yeah, I mean, literally, we fucking got it back. We hit the 90s. Like, holy shit, dude. It actually did. I can't believe it. I was wrong. There you go. You heard it here first. But, like, so we've seen this before. Those numbers, if you looked at 18 and 19 going into that, it was a decrease. It was coming down. The market, anybody could talk all the shit they want. You were in 18, you either held like we did, we started slowing down on buying collections. People were getting really fucking nervous. And then the pandemic hit. They weren't no nervous no more. There was fuck yeah.
That all
yeah,
said,
baby.
why don't you guys get into the Ahsoka ranking?
Yeah, let's get to the Ahsoka
JJ's here. I'll
What's
tap
JJ
out
saying?
and he can take my spot
Just FYI, but
because I got to get ready for work.
okay, get ready for work, B2. All right, let's go.
Pete.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks for locking it down. All right, so here, Wayseeker, would you like to explain this list?
All right, so I came up with 10 episodes, which I think are important to watch before Ahsoka. These are not the 10 best episodes of Rebels. These aren't the ones we want to see Ahsoka around the campfire doing s'mores, talking about the good old days.
We're not going to put in Darth Maul fighting Obi-Wan is not in here.
No, I mean, those are the best. Some of the best episodes are not in this list. There's, the Obi Maul fight, bunch of other good stuff. These are not the best.
These are ones that if you have time, go hit them up real quickly because they might play back.
Yeah, and so we just want to say these are the ones that you need to watch before Ahsoka. So you got 10 days, one episode a day. You can watch. Get these
JJ,
back.
were you there? Are you there, JJ?
I'm here.
Okay, cool. We're going to get to yours. We didn't make one for this because somehow it got lost in translation. I will tell you this. My outside the line of 10 that you have to watch, if you can watch 13, because we have technically 12 here, I would suggest, what is it? It's in season 2. I think it might be number 14. Is that it? It's the Legends of Lasat or whatever.
Lothal?
No, not Lothal, Lasat, where Zeb is
Lasat.
from.
Yeah, where
And it gives
he goes back. He goes and finds that crazy planet through the
crazy planet, and he puts his parents or the old elders out there. I would suggest you watch that. It might give some reverence for like a little bit of understanding of a character that they used before, and maybe something that could show up. I'm not saying it's going to, but it does give a little context. However, it's in the way lower line, the outliners of stuff. You don't have to watch it right away. Might be something good to get into. JJ, you had 2 that we added in the last minute, so we're going to keep it as outliners too. I like these at once, and I know why you put them in here, because if you read novels, one of this plays very well into it. What do we got here? Season 2, episode 11 and 12. Legacy. Is this right?
No,
Is
it's
this
I think
he put down the wrong ones. Which one did you do? It was 11 and 12.
Future
right?
of the Force.
It's the Future of the Force.
Yeah,
Where is
Future of the
that?
Force. Season 2, 10 and 11, I think it is, or maybe it's 11 and 12. I don't remember.
Maybe it is 11 and 12. Pete just did the wrong thing.
I think 10 was the title of Future of the Force. I don't remember what.
Yeah.
But it was
So
like
then
a
Legacy of Princess of the Fall? That doesn't make sense. Why did Pete put this in here? Either way, so it's 10 and 11, and it's they deal with the kids being stolen, right? Season 2?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's a bunch of Force kids, and the Inquisitors are going around stealing them for the Empire. Why would this maybe be important to a review before the Ahsoka season?
Well, because it comes into a play a lot of Ahsoka's motivations for sticking with kind of being a Jedi, but not being a Jedi, I guess. There's even a line in there between her and Kanan. I think it's actually Kanan who comes to the final line of it, but basically Ahsoka said she's seen this type of thing before, and the Jedi, were able to rescue the children, and Kanan said, well, there's no Jedi to rescue them now, so it's up to us. So,
which kind of gives you the motive of her where she's doing the speech with Sabine, and they've kind of altered it where they say master and apprentice, but at the same time that might have been taken out of context, where she just does feel like she needs to start training people and helping out, say, Force sensitive people. And then the other one is Trials of the Darksaber. I actually like this one too. It was voted out by Wayseeker.
The committee.
Yeah.
Not Wayseeker.
The
The
committee.
committee did it.
Yeah, the committee voted it out.
this one's very much, it's not really Ahsoka, it's very much Sabine, and it's her basically learning how to use a lightsaber from Ezra and Kanan, But I think the most important thing for this, maybe for the television series, maybe the parts where she's actually training with Ezra and using the lightsaber. And if she happens to use his lightsaber, all the techniques, all that stuff she learned is.
We're not going to hear a Rey situation. We're not going to have a Rey situation on our hands.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we're not going to have to hear that. I mean, we probably will, but we still don't.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she uses a lightsaber, if there's not like at least an audio type flashback or something to her learning how to use the technique. Because at first she doesn't train with just the darksaber; she trains with just a stick. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a flashback to her learning how to use a saber from one of these 2 episodes. So.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I have the Legend of Lasat too. Is in there is like if we do see a Zeb appearance, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you will. I mean, that is a likelihood that they could do that. I like both those episodes. I think they're great. Once again, kind of a little bit of an outliner. We know that she trained with the Darksaber, but it's good to see it again just in case. And the other one with the Force sensitive kids being stolen kind of implements why she would still teach people and use the Force in a positive form and not be part of the Jedi Order. 3 great episodes technically watched because it's 10 and 11 and it's season 3 of 15. But let's get in it. We're going to do the rest of it in alphabetical order or not alphabetical order, numerical order.
Season order?
Numerical order, I guess.
Yeah, numerical order.
order.
What do we have here? Season 1, episode 6.
Yeah, I want to include one from season 1. This one was the episode where Ezra goes undercover in the Lothal Academy. And in there we meet 2 characters who play a big role in the Rebels universe. We meet Zer Leonis and Kai Jo, whatever his name is. Jake,
whatever.
Jai, whatever his name is. Jai and Zell there. And so Jai was in like 7 or 8 episodes.
He eventually goes on to join the Rebel forces.
He joined the Rebels. He's a part of the Lothal resistant movement.
Mm-hmm.
He was in, I guess 7 or 8 episodes of season 4. We were talking before about some of the scenes in Lothal and who was, piloting and doing some of that stuff. We kind of gave some ideas. Maybe it was Martin Mateen. Another person that could be is J. Kell. And
I'll be honest, even if Martin Mateen shows up, because it looks like there's so many of those features and you see stuff flying around there, having that other force of the Jekyll force and a couple of the other kids that you saw flying around. I can't remember what the heck. I'll probably get to it later when it'll click into my head. I can remember off the top of my head what the name of the group was that they did. It wasn't just the resistance force. They had a sub force there that they used, but it does make sense that some of these kids might've been introduced here. So then we'll get to see them later on in the Lothal scenes. Cause we're going to spend some time on Lothal. So
we will. And Jason Fry wrote 4 books about these characters. More about Zer Leonis or whatever. And, in Marie and going after his sister. So again, these characters have
let me explain this to one random. We're kind of giving you ones that like, we all know that she used the Darksaber, right? So her first training with a stick does hold significant importance. But if these kids pop up, you're going to be like, who the fuck are they and why are they significant? Not Sabine holding a lightsaber. We kind of know why it's significant. And
we're late editions too, so it's...
Yeah.
Tell you to look 3 hours more.
Yeah, and again, these are not the best episodes. I mean, I just get their Fire Across the Galaxy. That's the one where the Inquisitor dies. Like, that one's a great episode, but I don't think it really makes as much sense.
Another reason why this episode kind of hits a little bit, too, is if you're watching Rebels chronologically, I'm not saying everybody go back and watch every episode, but if you are, this is the first episode where you kind of see Ezra and Sabine build that relationship, because he's passing the messages to her when he's undercover. Like, she's kind of his contact point or whatever.
You can't tell if they like each other or if it's older brother, younger brother, older sister. Like you can't figure.
They don't interact that much.
Yeah. Right now, at this one, it's kind of weird because they pull the reverse Luke and Leia, right? Their relationship kind of starts off. How I felt at least was their relationship, and especially in this episode, is kind of like older sister, younger brother. Not that I had any sisters. I had like 12 brothers, so I wouldn't know how that fucking works, but that's how it appears. And later on, it appears that there might be a baby mama situation happening. So, all right, let's move on. So there we go. All right.
Shroud of Darkness. This was, I think a classic episode where Ahsoka really hones in on her relationship with Anakin, and she knows here who Darth Vader is. And
There's also a very
all
I
of
do
these, scenes that we just saw, the one the trailer that dropped today with where we heard Anakin's voice, part of Ahsoka. So this relationship between Anakin and Ahsoka,
look at there, Shannon.
is pretty central, I feel like, to this episode.
Oh shit, I didn't get to the official week catch a week. I'll do that later. There's also something interesting in this episode, and it has to deal with Yoda and Ezra, and a little chitty chat that you might want to check out too. So there's a 2-part there. I know they just dropped that trailer like yesterday, or was it today or whatever, where they do the voiceover as Wayseeker says. Is that how they're going to do the Anakin thing? Maybe. It is definitely a good one to get involved with either way. All right. Next up, we've got, of course, the fight, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This is the fight, right? This is where, Ahsoka, we all thought, dies in spoiler, she doesn't. Coming up there with the fight between them in the temple. This is also where Kanan goes blind. You get to see all of the cool Inquisitors with their, flying around with their lightsabers. If you're into that in these episodes. But yeah, this is really the flight where, she says, I am no Jedi. And that major line that really, I feel like, defines who she is.
You get some good Ahsoka. You get some good Kanan situations in here too. So,
well, and it was that pinnacle point of, there's no going back for these two characters. Like, she's not turning to the dark side, and he's not going back to the light side, which we obviously knew because he's Darth Vader. But especially for her, like, there's always that thing of like, well, maybe he could turn her and she became dark or something like that, because we didn't really know her future going forward from this.
Was it 21 or 22 where they cracked Vader's helmet? That was in this, right? It was 22.
I think it was 22.
Yeah, which gives Dom loves the cracked helmet thing. So this is also, if you're a cracked helmet, cracked Vader helmet thing.
I also
right,
love the fact that Maul was in this episode too. It was awesome.
It's also technically the start of the World Between Worlds, theoretically speaking.
Yep.
Yep, theoretically speaking, it is absolutely. I mean, in retrospect, at least.
Yep.
And that's how she doesn't die. Yep. Okay. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's how she's saved. Or whatever.
All right. Here we go. We're already to season 3. Now we're not. Like I said, there's a couple in season 2 that I think me and JJ were saying throw in there and stuff like that. But
so the beginning of season 2 is kind of important too. Was it Siege of Lothal? I think it was.
Yeah, I Siege of Lothal. It's the first encounter with Vader is in Siege of Lothal, kind of like how we put the Darksaber training on outside of the top 10 that you have to watch. You can watch season 2, episode 2. That's the first time they kind of run into Vader. You see the little Vader thing going on there. If you have extra time, but once again, I mean, watching, even though we say the top 10, some of these are double episodes, so you're going to spend a lot of time watching these episodes anyways. So, you got more than 10 hours. We can throw out a couple more for you.
Yeah.
But there you go. All right.
Steps of the Dark is actually one of my least favorite Rebels episodes. This is where you get the whole Ezra trying to go dark. Is he going to go dark? He uses
this is a stupid dark thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
But isn't this the Thrawn intro?
This is where you get to meet Thrawn for the first time. So that's why this one's on here. And so you get to see who Thrawn is. He's very menacing. You get to see why he's called in to do it. So if you're into the Thrawn and need to get recapped on, who Thrawn is and what he's about for Filoni at least, this is the place to start for Thrawn.
God, I hope so. I will tell you this.
Step into darkness or
what?
It's Shadow, right?
No, it's Step into Darkness, isn't it?
Darkness or Shadow?
No, it's Step of Darkness. I rewrote down Steps of Darkness.
Anyways,
Steps of Darkness, isn't it?
Maybe. I don't know. Pete.
It's all right. It's Steps of Darkness.
Maybe we pull the titles from Britain or something.
This is the only thing. This is the only thing I'll say about this. The only thing. The fuck. The only thing I'll say about this is, if you at one point Dom was talking about a rumor about Ezra turning dark and helping Thrawn, and that would be super cool. If you think that's gonna be super cool, watch this episode and see how super stupid it is that Ezra is dealing with the dark side of the Force.
Hey, Shannon has a point. This is a Hondo episode.
It is a Hondo episode, yeah.
Yeah, Hondo's in there.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, just Rebels. We're just talking about 10
Yeah,
Rebels.
just
episodes.
Rebels.
If we did Clone Wars, it would have taken way too long.
Yeah. Yep. So, again, this is for Thrawn. This is not one of my favorite Thrawn episodes either. I feel like the next two on here are even better.
One random I don't. I'm glad they ended this dark fucking dog shit. Look for the holocrons, figure it out, the Maul bullshit. I'm glad like that Obi-Wan just fucking. Plus that Obi-Wan fucking episode was so good, fucking killing him. I think they just used this dumb shit to introduce Maul into the Rebels series, and that's how they. It's like a MacGuffin to introduce Maul, which, whatever. I don't know.
Yep.
Dom, what do you think? Do you want Ezra to turn dark?
You know,
Hey, Sarth.
well, look, not really, but if he did, I think it would still be a cool thing that he, since he's been out in the unknown regions for 11 years, you know. But I thought it would be cool if Maul did teach him the dark ways, have the apprentice before he perished. But we'll see what happens. I don't, like I said, he's Ezra is a type of character where you're right. Him being dark doesn't make any sense.
It didn't work well. Well, but here's a point that I think one's making, and I wish they didn't start it if they weren't going to do much with it. And to be honest, I think this is because we were so infatuated with Dave at the time. I don't think we saw that, but this part of the storyline, it did have some cracks in it where it's like, this actually is not good. Like, you just did something to do it because you're like, oh, cool. Would it be cool if he, like what Dom just said? He's like, Dom was like, yeah, dude, it'd be cool if he learned it from all. Yeah, that's kind of cool, I guess. But that's not what they did here. They just fucking half-assed some shit and it, like, didn't work out well. So.
It also didn't make sense because, like, his master just is going through such a difficult time. And, like, Ezra has so much empathy throughout this show. You think like that would be a time when he like would double down and like try to help out his master who's now blind for the very first episodes, and he's going off in a completely different way while Kanan's going. It didn't make sense to me.
How he was hiding stuff, I kind of understood, but he short. Yeah, whatever. We're moving on. He shorted stuff. Watch 1 and 2. You'll hate that part, but whatever. Why did we put Hera's heroes in here? This is
I love this episode, and I think this one is for Thrawn. I put this one in here because this one showed Thrawn's deep appreciation of art and culture.
But this also shows that Thrawn in the heir of the Empire is not Thrawn of Rebels, which I mean, this is the Thrawn of the new trilogy. This shows Thrawn of the new trilogy, not of the old trilogy. Which,
but this is the one that Dave came up with. So again, this Thrawn. He's taken over Hera's palace, and as you see in this episode, Hera wants to get the Kalikori, which is the artifact of her family's heirloom, which tells the family story. And Thrawn knows exactly what this Kalikori is and the meaning that it has, while everybody else in the Empire just thinks it's some worthless trinket. And because his knowledge of culture is there, he's able to know immediately that Hera is not some slave girl, but is actually Cham Syndulla's daughter. So it was just a great way of showing how deeply art and culture influence how Thrawn is. And also at the very end of the episode, Thrawn lets the rebels get away and get their victory as a way of, like, I don't know, saying that, you know, they deserve that one and it's a longer game. I don't need to win this battle to win the war.
Jedi just took a break. I was going to ask him what he thought about this and if he watched this before he started to read the Thrawn books, because I do think this gives great insight into the new version of Thrawn. And I know that JJ's nervous about it, and I'm nervous about it, that Dave is somehow JJ's you hear him mumbling grudges. Yeah. But if Dave gives us this is the Thrawn we want, right, JJ?
Yeah. I mean, it's the Thrawn that we were reintroduced to. It's the canon Thrawn, right?
Yeah.
And
it's a pretty damn good Thrawn. What I'm saying is, like, I thought the last Thrawn, I thought Heir of Thrawn was good. I think this Thrawn is fucking, when he pulled this move here, I mean, that was pretty fucking sweet, dude. Like, this is, like, this shows you, like, he's just, I hate it when you have to explain that he's out for his own objectives. He is kind of like the what's his name from Big Bang Theory? He's kind of like the Sheldon of Big Bang Theory, right? Like, if it makes logical sense, he's going to do it. If it doesn't, he's got no time for it. And that's kind of how he gets subjective. In
Well,
Heir to
more
the
like
Empire, that wasn't the case. What?
Well, I'm just saying.
You never seen Big Bang Theory before? Oh,
I heard
it's
my
a good
name.
TV
What
show.
happened?
You should watch it.
Yeah, he wants to know what you thought of this Thrawn.
Oh boy. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't remember all these episodes. Like I said, I didn't do my homework, but I will tell you this. So, to me, the Rebels Thrawn, and maybe I'm way off on this, but so in what I read of the novels, the Timothy novels, the ones I did finish, Thrawn is always kind of walking this tightrope between his own objectives and service to the Emperor, right, and going in the Empire. And to me, Rebels was always kind of showed his service to the Empire side of Thrawn more than his own objectives. Now, I heard what you guys were saying about this one. Kind of gives you a peek into the Thrawn that, you know, kind of has his own person, and not so much Admiral Thrawn, but his people's Thrawn. So I don't know. That's what I think.
Well, see, I think like when you say that, I always think the underlining message for Thrawn is, and I think it shows it here, because he called them out, but he also wanted to see the rebel thing play out for real. And that's not what the Empire wants or what the Empire would do. They wouldn't let him have the victory. You know what I mean? But he does that for the bigger game. And I think that's where he showed you. So if the bigger game isn't for the Empire, then who's it for? And that's where I think we get the bigger game is for Thrawn.
It also shows the way his strategical mind works a little. Like if you haven't read the novels and that type of stuff, like just watching this episode, you can get a little bit of a grasp, like Wayseeker said at the end, at least, for how his mind works, as far as like, because at the end of this episode, spoiler alert, even if you go back and watch it, but he basically has the opportunity to blast them out of the sky.
Yeah, he could kill him. He could end it.
But he knows he lets them get away, partly because he thinks he earned their victory, as he says, but also because of the fact that he knows, like, if he did this now, he knows they're rolling into the new rebellion faction. And if he destroys them now, he has no way of getting to that rebellion faction that he's been tasked with destroying. And there's other episodes later on in the series too where the same thing happens. Like,
yeah, but is that the case, or is that the case that he wants to destroy? Oh, shit! Now we're gonna go on.
Well, it is because the same thing happens in the novels. If you remember right, I can't remember the space pirate or space rebellion guy's name that he's chasing. He lets the same thing happen. He basically lets them have a victory.
Right.
Oh, to get that, but I think that's foreshadowing that he's not doing with this. I think he's actually leaving that so that he can use these forces, and he does. He eventually takes Ezra away with him because he needs that aspect of it. You see what I'm saying? But we'll get into it later. We're not going to deep dive into what.
Well, look, we all know that Thrawn is the Sherlock Holmes of the Star Wars universe. So,
yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Here's another great Thrawn episode. This is the one where we see Callus, completely turn to help the rebels out, and Thrawn knows that there is a traitor in their midst, and Callus thinks he's gotten away with it. You got the great Yularen there, who believes that they have the traitor is this person that Callus plants as the traitor.
Yep.
Everybody thought it wasn't Callus, it was this other dude, and Thrawn sees right through it and realizes for reason 1, 2, 3, 4 as he goes why that couldn't be, and yet also he realizes that it's better to keep Callus on the board than to take him out at the same time, because he is trying to play that long game. I just thought this was another really good episode into the mind of Thrawn.
I just always debate what the long game is, because I think it can work in two different ways. Number two, the two animals behind him, are those the force dampening things? Is that the redrawn version of those?
That's on the toy.
I know it's on the toy.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. There was I think it's something different. It's not the thing that was around his neck. It's not the
lizard thing. I don't know if it isn't. I'm just looking at it now, thinking Dave changes stuff around, but it's a good one. You get to see it gives us a lot of Callus, and it actually, it makes Callus a more palatable character too. He seemed like a throwaway shit character, and I think this kind of made him like, it just seemed like some knucklehead, right? He seemed like any just like a henchman, and you're like, why are they giving so much strength to this henchman? Why is he so important? This actually proved out the importance of him too. Gave a lot of character development for not only Pride and Yevon, but also Thrawn and what you said. I hope he wears that funky helmet.
And hit the pork chop sideburns.
The weirdest thing about Callus, though, and this is off topic, he plays almost no role in season 4. Like, he turns to the rebel.
Yeah, you see him like once or twice. You see him in the
background. And then, like, in season 4, he like grows a beard and goes off, and like, it was just.
Did you see him in a planning or something? I can't remember, but yeah, you're right. All right, but he could. I mean, like, that's what he likes to do. So, season 4, episode 1 and 2, Heroes of Mandalorian. And I guess this is why we didn't put in the training episode with the lightsaber, because these 2 episodes kind of give you the synopsis of, I mean, everything. It gives you this of a lot of in-depth situations with Sabine. Sorry, Wayseeker, for taking.
No, go. It's good.
This is one of my favorite arcs. I love this portion of it. We get Fenru in it. We get a lot about. We get what's your name's girlfriend, Dom?
What the
Bo-Katan.
We get certain moons in this. We get a lot of stuff that ends up playing later on and helping out in the season of Mandalore that we just watched. Also, I mean, I love this, and it adds. I know people hate the politics of Star Wars, but it does add. It adds some of the political Star Wars stuff in there too that I thought was pretty cool. Did I cover it, Wayseeker, or am I missing?
Yeah. This is, I think, one of the most important Sabine arcs right here.
Yeah, it gives you that. This and the one where she. Well, does 2 tell you about? It hints that she killed a lot of people, right? In 2.
Oh yeah, with
her
invention did.
Yeah.
Her weapons did. Weapons that she created at the Empire. I don't think she herself killed people.
No, the weapons. But this isn't where they destroy the weapon, right?
Well, the weapon she created killed.
Yeah, but that's not in these 2 episodes. That's later down the line.
I don't know.
So 2's where they get the weapon, right?
I'm a little in the camp of I wonder how much this will play into the actual Ahsoka series, though, because I kind of have a feeling that her Mandalorian history and stuff like that won't matter that much.
I think they have to address it because she's got a helmet, and for normies, you have to figure it out. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, that can be explained away with a few lines. Like, I don't know. I just don't see. I don't know if all that lore will play that much into it, but we'll see.
All right. Next up is the Jedi Knight, the episode where we lose somebody.
Episode.
This is JJ's image right here.
Yep. One of my favorite episodes. Probably my, R.I.P. Kanan, obviously, but it's one of my favorite episodes.
Spoiler alert: Kanan dies in this episode. Spoiler alert.
Yes.
No,
he becomes one with the Force.
Yeah. The push away. This is, and we have a feeling. Don't we have a feeling in this one that he might have impregnated somebody the night before this?
Yes.
He
did the deed.
At some point.
At some point, this is where we figure. Oh, he's not just saving somebody. He might be saving a bump in the oven or whatever they say. Mm-hmm. A little character that we're going to see in. This is a very good episode, and I didn't think they were going to take him off the board. I think at this point he needed to be off the board because some of his stuff was getting stale with the blind dude and the and when he's talking to the big fucking what's the thing from the sky?
Bindu. So, yeah, it's Star Wars history, right? And to me, this also episode plays into Ahsoka, and I don't know if we'll see something like this in Ahsoka, but they focus on the one trailer and that whole master apprentice relationship, and that's what this was a lot for me, was that part that always happens in Star Wars at some point.
They sacrifice themselves,
yeah, where someone, usually the master, sacrifices himself, and the apprentice takes over, and
they're not killing off Ahsoka.
I'm not saying they're killing off Ahsoka, but something along those lines of where
Could you imagine?
Maybe they kill off. Maybe the master and apprentice thing is more like an Ezra. Ezra dies, and Sabine kind of takes over. I don't know. You don't know, but
yeah, that could be it. That master and apprentice could be those two. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna kill off Ahsoka, and
But
I mean,
to me, that
Dom
episode
just
spoke a
Dom
lot
just
to that relationship.
Dom said something that I'm not gonna say I disagree with, but I'm not gonna say that because he just pissed off a lot of fucking people. So there you go.
But it's also really important to the world between worlds too, in the sense of like
Yeah,
the worlds between worlds can't save everybody.
And we already seen that.
yeah, that's right because they can't
Yeah.
save him,
Seen
right?
that.
You can't save him because if you save him, then everybody else dies. And so it's not like the world between worlds is this, thing as we talk about later that where you can go back and you can retcon all history and take everything out and put pieces back on the board. There are limits to the world between worlds. And this one.
Speaking of World Between Worlds, episode 4 or season 4, episode
Going back
13.
real quick between these
Go
two,
ahead.
I was going to say it also plays an important role in kind of Thrawn's path too, in a way, because the destruction of the TIE Defender program is what happens here. Where Price, that's how she kills Kanan, and she blows up the fuel center for them, and it basically ruins Thrawn's plans to not build the Death Star.
Right.
In the long run of things, and he is not necessarily in this episode, but next episode he is livid about it, and basically.
But does
Price ends up dying in a different way, but like I mean, he basically like writes her off as a no count person now that she's ruined his plans.
Well, I also thought that the TIE Defender program also shows us in how angry and invested he was over this Death Star, because the Death Star, if you think about it, is regionally based and will take out planets, and this shows where Thrawn's real goals were. He didn't give a shit about that. He wants an army. He wants an army of maneuverable ships that weren't just sacrifice first, which the Imperial did. Like the Imperial, I'll be honest, it's like Russia in the world. Russia, they'll throw as many troops as they can. World War II, many troops as they can. Don't matter. Eventually, it'll overpower them. It'll take them. Doesn't matter how good their equipment is.
He also sees the Death Star as, not to use another World War II analogy, but kind of like the atomic bomb, right?
Yeah.
The fact that like this is dangerous beyond the implications of it simply being a massive weapon. Like it can,
but also too,
it's bad for the chiss. It's bad for
it's bad for that. But it's also not a fleet versus fleet fighter, right? Like if you have an if you have an invasion species coming or invasion of anything coming in, like that's the Death Star can't toll that out, right? And the chiss aren't about sacrificing themselves to go burn down. And so, like, what does he need? He needs the bank of the Empire.
In hyperspacecraft.
Yeah, he needs a hyperspace craft. Yeah, which is cool. So, I mean, hopefully, it's on the right track. The world between worlds that makes no fucking sense and like fucking doesn't follow any rules and is just fucking dog shit. The world between worlds, although you should watch this season 7, episode 13, does not hold up. It makes even less fucking sense when you watch it. And what the fuck is the Emperor just laughing and shooting lightning in for?
Yeah, that was the part that made absolutely like. And how does he know about
that's the only part?
Yeah. No, that's the worst part. I should say.
The only reason why they brought Ahsoka back because they wanted to bring her back from that. And didn't she mess up the timeline? Come on, she had to mess the timeline for coming back.
It was. Nope, because that's not how it works. Because you want to know what Dave said at the point? I don't know how it works. Time travel's not real.
Some of the Sabine art stuff was really cool in this episode. Sabine's ability to interpret art and those interactions with the Imperial there. Yeah. I thought that was really good in the episode before this and also in this episode.
I just know when people start hooting and hollering about they want to see the world between worlds, watch this episode and then form your opinion. Watch it.
It was so well done, though. All the voices, like I get that it doesn't make sense, but they did it really well with all of the voices coming in there from past, present, future.
They did the voice, but that doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm not saying it does, but it just they did this episode well, at least.
They did such a good job of not making fucking sense out of anything.
It's almost like
just asking for Dave to do two things. You can either make sense or like,
Well, it's almost like that was the World Between Worlds was their excuse to do that. To use like all these voices.
That's
and all
what
that,
it was.
It's almost like that was the excuse.
That looked like it was an excuse just to, hey, we're gonna.
Why does
Star Wars fans?
Why does it look like Tron and a cross between that Simpsons episode where Homer's in the fourth dimension?
True.
By the way, it doesn't. As much as the more I look at it, it looks even less and less. The only thing I think that people were getting was the star map behind the World of Worlds compared to that scene where you see the dome go over, where everybody thought it was the World Between Worlds. it doesn't really look like the images we've seen so far. But they could once again, Dave could change whatever Dave wants to change, apparently. So what the fuck do we know? I would just hope that he wouldn't touch this because
I mean, I think. Go ahead, JJ.
I was gonna say the question I have for everybody was: do you think this was the excuse? Seeing how he didn't know he admits he doesn't know the mechanics of how it worked when he wrote it or whatever. Was this the excuse to save Ahsoka and keep using that character?
Yes,
Yep.
100%,
Yep.
without a fucking doubt.
But do you not think the World Between Worlds makes sense when they're going to try to? It can be Dave's way of trying to bring back Palpatine, right?
I don't know that it makes sense, but I think that they'll use it.
I think
I don't know if he
about
will
Palpatine.
use it. Okay, so I originally thought he'd use it, right? I'm kind of thinking he might not use it, and I would say 40% might not use it because he actually doesn't know how it fucking. I mean, I still think he doesn't know how it works.
Well, listen,
I think he knows with the kickback of. I think he's not a stupid man. He does realize the first time he did it, he just did it to save Ahsoka. He does realize that he got called out for doing that, and I think he's like, maybe I shouldn't make that mistake again.
well, a version of the World Between Worlds was apparently in one of the original scripts of The Empire Strikes Back. So, the World Between Worlds has been around for quite a while.
I mean, he pulls his ideas from everywhere.
Time traveling or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Once you
Right,
get
but-
time travel stuff, it messes everything up.
But that's
That
what I'm
makes
saying.
it
Yeah, I
sound
mean,
very good.
we do see a lot of activity between, I don't think there's a scene in the trailer, if they even have it in the TV show, but there's a scene in the trailer where you see Sabine and Ahsoka in Ahsoka's fighter thing, and they're flying through what appears to be the clouds and the sperm whale hyperspace things.
Yeah.
If that's how they can use those to get to Thrawn, which is a very likely scenario because it's very simple for them to do, they hit those up because it's the time of the year when they're fucking mating or whatever the fuck they're doing. They're in the orbit, it's like a fucking comet. He uses that instead of time travel to have them all link up. It's a lot cleaner, a lot easier, and you don't have to go through a lot of gobbledygook to try to make it sense. This time travel thing, I think everybody will agree with, was not done well. He still doesn't know how to do it, and it's not going to make sense moving forward.
Maybe he
'Cause where-
figured it out. Maybe he knows how to do it now. I don't know.
Okay, but what do you do? What's the point of time traveling?
Again, I could easily see the Imperials trying to save Palpatine. Go back and get Palpatine because everything is always about Palpatine. So,
Well,
Well, and it's also the fact of this could be the way they, return Thrawn or something. Like, I mean, you don't know that yet, but
if Thrawn
somebody
dies,
uses
they
the
return
World
him.
Between- huh? Well,
If
like
he dies, they return him.
can't you go back to that point of when
Well-
they disappeared before the Purgle, right before that, and yank him out just like as
Yeah,
they did
I
Ahsoka?
would,
Like,
I would say that, but unless you're saying that the scenes of them in the Purgos are a travel. But how would they travel with her ship through? Fucking dude, my head's melting.
No, nobody knows how it works. But
My head is melting thinking about how stupid this could be. So
Listen, maybe it's a looking glass that she's showing the fight with Vader, and that she loses. Maybe she sees that they don't actually use it. It actually just she's watching what her past could have been.
I think
he was watching her lose. Like Vader was literally doing the
not gonna
killing
happen.
stroke
It was about
when
to
he
kill
yanked
her.
her out of there.
But that's what I'm saying. I think it would take too long for them to explain how this would work. Plus, we see.
I think he leaves it alone.
The World
Yeah.
Between Worlds.
either way, you need to watch this episode because it's how Ahsoka gets back.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
what do you say,
You
Jedi?
use it, you got to explain it. Like Shannon said, you use it, you have to explain it. And however he explains it, you have to superior race, some sort of superior being, maybe even greater than the Force built this thing.
You gotta do a bit.
Leave it alone. It was a mistake.
Yeah, it was a
It
snake.
was the other father, the Mortis guy.
But you should fucking watch it.
And Shannon might be right in the fact that it takes too much time, which we maybe say by the fact this is a short series, and he may not have the time to do it.
Have time to do it. All right, so the last two episodes, 15 and 16, you have to watch them both because I was thinking we could have just done one or the other. But Family Reunion and Farewell, when you start talking about them, they kind of they are one episode that they just split up pretty much, which is actually, you'll find a lot of the combo episodes that we did here, they're really one episode that they just decide to split in half. I mean, they really are. So family reunion and farewell.
Mighty Wolves.
Well, the painting, this part in the farewell, like the end of farewell, is where you see this artwork. You see the live action scene that we've seen of Ahsoka and Sabine together. It did confuse a lot of people because we apparently didn't know the fucking time. Like that, once again, if that timeline, if the timeline of family reunion and farewell screwed up so many people, and they've had to explain it over and over again, and they still haven't done a clarification of when that took place, which are we still not aware of when that took place? We kind of roughly know, but we don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I almost feel like they're gonna, from the previous thing, I almost kind of feel like they're gonna rewrite some of the end of this. Of the fact
I agree.
That, like, yeah, they're gonna
Because
say,
it
"Oh
was-
well, this is yeah."
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say because I feel like they're gonna rewrite that part of the mirror where they left off, and that was the farewell, and then we see them again. I feel like all that is kind of getting to get rewritten. They're the last maybe 5 episodes of this, or 5 minutes of this arc or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we know we know that too. We're just saying when you watch these episodes, yeah. I mean, obviously, post Return of the Jedi is a lot of different things there. I mean, post Return of the Jedi and then 15 years after the Return of the Jedi are two different, like two different scenarios here. Which it looks like. I mean, that's where we're looking, right? We're looking about 15 years, 12 years.
I mean,
It's
we're
gotta be
saying
more
it
than
takes
10.
place. They're saying it takes place in the
11 years.
Mandalorian area, right? So
That's
you're
9
looking
or
at
10.
least
So yeah,
at least
9
9
or
or
No,
10.
that's the start. The start of the Mandalorian airs at 10, but Ahsoka showed up into the Mandalorian era a year after, or
So
2
they're
years after.
saying that we're
11
still
years.
in 9 or 10. That's what
11
they
years.
when they reclarified after changing their mind about how many years and all that. Remember when Favreau like changed his mind like 7 times in that 1 week?
Yeah.
Now they're saying we're still in 9 or 10 for
Well, I
Mandalorian.
also have a
I thought it
feeling
was
that
11.
it could be. Well, we
10,
don't really know.
10,
But I have this feeling that it's a little more fluid than that. And like, I have a feeling we're going to see them reshoot basically the last 5 minutes of the episode where Ahsoka and Sabine meet up at the mural, and it's going to go into like this, like 2 years later type thing or something like that. Where because they talk about that part of like where in the trailers and stuff where Ahsoka left Sabine behind because of I forget whatever reason she said and all that. Like, I have a feeling there's going to be this time gap between this ending of Rebels. Like, I don't think it's going to pick up right away and keep going.
I agree.
Oh, you think even after they say hi to each other, it's going to be another time gap after that?
I think so, because I think it's going to be like they
cow.
spend, time gap of 2 years or whatever looking for Ezra or something like that, and they parted ways or something like that.
It was 10. It's at least 10 years. No, it's more than that. It's
11.
Either way, I'm not worried about that. Like again, that's the least of my worries about Ahsoka is if they.
Yeah, but I mean, we'll
the
see the difference, and we'll see
yeah,
what from a certain
Rebels,
point of
a little
view.
bit.
I guess we'll see here how they redo that.
But
yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
watch this one. I mean, you get to see what happens with Thrawn. You get to see what happens with Ezra. You get to really get the hone in on this.
I'll be honest with you. If there's
Ezra
only two,
relationship.
if there's only 2 episodes you watch, these are the 2 episodes you need to watch.
Yeah.
Like you have to watch these.
Just really, these are some great, great Rebels.
It was. This was a good way to end the show. I mean, I think this is what made these characters as fan favorites. I mean, I know everybody says Ahsoka because of Clone Wars, but there was always a little bit kickback of it. I think when you see this and the ending of this really put her into like stratosphere and like
Well, listen, I
pandemonium.
had a tear. I did have a tear. I did have a tear for this. I tell you that. It was a good ending. I like the ending.
It was. Go ahead.
This is trademark Filoni too. The fact that where he leaves something and he picks it up later. Like,
Is it going to mean anything once he changes all the friggin' canon we just got in the Ahsoka series?
It'll still mean something. It was still a great show, no matter what.
Yeah, the show is great. I mean, the only problem is that the show set the bar. I think when you review some of these, you'll see how high it set the bar and how much there's potential for him to fuck this up. Because watching this in retrospect, we could either get this, we could get these 2 episodes right here, or we could get this.
Yeah.
We could get this. or we could get this. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Well, look, at the end of the day,
Two very different things there.
they are. At the end of the day, we're gonna get something that's gonna hopefully bring the fans back into the fold with excitement. Hey, look, we all know that Dave is gonna change some shit.
Yeah, he's gonna change.
He definitely
Oh, yeah.
is.
They've already backtracked and retracked. I mean, the timeline's the perfect example. They've already backtracked and retracked that 50 times. First off, he's got to have John not fucking talk, for one. Don't let John say a word. Okay, nothing. He says L nothing. Unless he's chanting for Rudy, he doesn't get a say in anything.
This is one of the good things about being on the writer's strike. Like he can't,
Yeah.
Favreau can't promote right now. So like, we're good. We're good about that.
Let me ask you a question now.
Oh, somebody's pissy because he's
Do you think
spawn
Ron
sim.
is back?
It is 6, isn't it?
Ron is back
6 episodes.
before Ezra left Ezra out in the unknown regions and found a way back.
No,
Before-
I think he's using Ezra 100% to help train the younger people who use the hyperspace lane so that he can. If we do not see the armada of fucking that he has set up, because he has, in my opinion, an armada out in outer space, outer rim, wild space. I think there's an armada there, and I think that armada is coming. I think we might actually, unfortunately, for what Jay said, that where he was talking about the program for the what were those things that were going to take over the TIE fighters?
Yeah,
The Defenders?
No,
Defenders. I think he might come back and try to take over to get the information for the Defenders. I think we might see some of that. I think that's what he was having some people work on
I don't know.
behind the scenes.
What
I'm
about,
I think
none of that.
None of that. None of that.
well,
I
what
don't
about
think
you?
it is.
That would be great. That would be awesome if at the end of Ahsoka we saw the armada that he has, and some of them are going to be Chiss and some are not. But he's going to
You
I
have.
are-
would disagree. It would be awesome, but I don't think it's gonna. I think it's
You
gonna
want
go like
Timothy Zahn to write
cloning
these
and Heir to the
episodes.
Empire.
Yes, I want Timothy Zahn to write this because I
And
think
this is
seeing
how it
it-
happened. Timothy Zahn
let
did
me ask
not
you a
write these
question now.
episodes.
Do you think? All right, so all right, just say for a fact he does get back and doesn't use Ezra. Ezra went on his own.
where's he going to go on his own?
No, I'm saying that he leaves to get just say
He
for
said he
argument's
comes
sake
back
that
on his own.
that he comes
Oh.
back on his own. That he needs force sensitive beings to able to navigate through that space because that space is going to
Which is what he does need. Yes.
exactly. So do you think? All right, Bayland, and what's her name? The girl, she, what's her name?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
I think you're right.
Okay.
They're mercenaries. They're mercenaries, and they're dark Jedi training, not Inquisitors, but dark Jedi, the dark Jedi's that they're able to. Do you think they're associated with any other dark Force users? Maybe the Knights of Ren.
No.
No.
The Knights of
What
Ren
the
are
fuck?
around. The Knights of Ren around. Think
No.
about it.
The Knights Ren are also in Wild and Wild Space. I mean, it's not the
The
biggest.
Knights of Ren
thing
weren't
you
all
can
that
make.
force sensitive either.
But
But
they
the-
are Force sensitive. But they're able to navigate through that craziness. Think about it.
That's
probably
not.
end up using-
No, that's not how that works.
Go ahead, Jedi.
I was saying I tend to agree with Marco. I assume he's going to use Ezra in some capacity to get himself back. However, to throw something else out there, a possibility, there are other what's his species? I can't think of the species.
Chiss.
Just
Chiss. I mean, Chiss. Don't they? When Chiss are younger, they have force sensitivity,
Some.
and the Chiss use them to navigate through hyperspace, right?
They're called
When they're
Skywalker.
younger?
too.
Right, but
Yeah,
it breaks down, and I think when you see Ezra's at the age that passes the breakdown point. So, we really want to get into this because I'm gonna get really nerdy now. So,
Well, not
hypothetically,
necessarily.
if you were to
Yeah.
write it well, what you could do was have Ezra, because if you look at the end when he does flash off, you do see that Thrawn is It does. You could take it either way. That Ezra hooked himself to Thrawn, or Thrawn hooked himself to Ezra. And remember, he's the tactician, so he already saw this coming. Took Ezra out there. Now, to have Ezra deal with it on a force sensitive level where he's a little bit older on the force sensitive and could give that, like, because remember when they start getting older, they try to give him a sympathy thing for the younger kids so they don't get sick and everything like that. But now you can have Ezra kind of train them in not having the force overpower them, especially through the small jumps. Now all of a sudden you've built a more mature hyperspace army, right? Now it's not just planning out. Now you don't have to rely on one or two girls that age out or man. It's
But do you
I
think
think
Filoni would
that part's not-
borrow
that part's not
something
happening.
from
That's-
Timothy
that's-
Zahn?
That's all
Over
Timothy's
here.
on. I do think you're right, though. I think
You don't think he'll just? It's an easy fix though.
No,
Ace.
I don't think he can. I don't
You just say
think,
he's trained these people that
No.
to use the Force to get through hyperspace lanes. You
I
don't have to
think he's
explain the whole
interested-
backstory.
I think he's
I
interested
think
in
he
the
could,
Force.
but do you think Filoni would bow to actually taking and using something that Timothy created?
I don't think
No.
he cares about that. At
I
all.
don't think he does because he just said "heir to the Empire," which is something fucking Timothy created to tell George Lucas to go fuck himself. So like, yeah,
In the Rebels world, right? I really do think at the end of season 3 with the Bendu, Thrawn did not see that coming. He did not understand the Force. He did not understand what the Force could do. He did not understand the sorcery of the Force.
Yeah, agreed.
And so I believe between the end of season 3 and the end of season 4, Thrawn did a lot of homework and started to really dig in on what this Force thing is and how he can use the Force. So I think the Bendu opened his eyes about the power of the Force and the possibilities of the Force. And I do think at the end of season 4, he has a deeper understanding of the Force and does understand that Ezra's going to
I hope we don't see Luke
Let me
show
ask
up.
you guys this though:
do something.
the,
I hope
the
he don't.
Purgle disappearing with him is
Come
not Thrawn's
on.
idea, right?
Yes.
So Thrawn has no idea where he ends up when the Purgle take him, right?
No. I think it is his. I think that was his ultimate plan was to get
No,
Ezra
why?
on that.
That was Ezra's plan, right?
Was it though?
I think it's both. I think it was Ezra's
why
plan.
was Thrawn
and
so
Thrawn's
surprised
plan.
and upset when he was sent into Purgle space or whatever?
I don't think Thrawn was surprised twice. Like
I
I,
don't
said,
think
I think he was surprised at the end of season 3. I don't think you surprised Thrawn twice.
Sean, shut up. Hey, Jedi, can I ask you a question? Why are you so excited about this?
I was being tongue in cheek there because I think it would be hilarious to watch you go off on it.
I will fucking lose my shit. I'll fucking
For the
quit.
purposes of this show only, I think it would be.
Oh
funny.
man, that would be.
I would lose my shit if Luke Skywalker.
Deep
showed up.
fake Luke.
Yeah, deep fake fucking Luke.
That would be
Doing
the end of
fucking
the
Vader
show.
moves.
There would be no
Yeah,
Marco.
there'd be no- That will be the last. I think we're at like 328 of these shows. No, yeah, somewhere around there. That'll be it. We'll be done. No more Dark Side. It will be gone. It's not funny. But yeah, no, I think JJ. I think you're.
You know, he raises one reign of victory raises a good point though, and the
What?
fact that like you don't know. So let's see if I'm remembering it right. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. When the Mando and the child first meet Ahsoka, she tells them that she can't help them and she needs to return him
She
to
met
some other.
him before that. By the way,
She met Luke before that.
yeah, she met Luke before that.
How do
She
you
met
know?
Luke. How do you know? Because didn't
Well, why didn't she
he-
just say then take him to Luke?
I don't know why she didn't say that shit.
They said that
Maybe
we
she
had
didn't know
not
where Luke
seen.
was. She had to
They
send
said
out
we
the
have not
backstory.
seen their first interaction. That was a Filoni.
Yeah, but wasn't it
On
in
it.
the book where she ended up showing up someplace? She was doing one of the back, like when she was, the fuck was her name when she wasn't legit ass? You can't take what Dave says serious. He doesn't know what he
Fulcrum?
fucking did.
I'm not saying you can't.
Yeah, when she was Fulcrum, did she show up when she was doing the Fulcrum shit and he was part of the resistance at the rebels to blow up the second Death Star and she was,
Wait.
she pulled up on, like, that's in a book. She pulled up on the fucking.
Yeah, but my point is like she clearly shows up later, knowing that Luke is training people and knows exactly where Luke is. So they had to have
Yeah,
come
I mean,
in
that I
contact.
don't, I mean, that
They
I
had to
can't,
come
I
in
mean.
contact between those 2 points at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're saying, "Oh, was she there and he was in the background or whatever?" Sure. Is that different than knowing where he's at a planet? Sure. Do you really give a fuck?
No, I'm just saying it's dangerous because I think one random victory has a point. The fact that like,
Oh,
maybe
if
the
they do
point-
that, yeah, because
maybe
that's
the
not.
point where
Oh,
they
that's
meet up
right.
for
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
time is in this
Yeah.
series.
Oh, wow, that would be fucking horrible. That I mean, that what is it? Who raise your hand in the chat if like that's what you want to see is the beginning training of Luke Skywalker training little Padawans to get chopped down by Kylo Ren? Because I'm okay with not seeing that shit.
It's all connected. They got to start doing something. The first order.
That- hey,
Yeah, but it's already
That's not
connected.
the question.
We don't need to see it.
We don't need to see it. Yeah. Thank you, Jedi. Thank you. Yeah. That's not something I think we need to see.
I don't want to see it,
I want
but I.
to.
don't
That's
put
what
it
I'm
past me.
saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be awful.
That would be horrible. Dom
That's
says
why
it's
they
all
had to
connected.
get Grogu out of there quick.
10 days. 10 days. I can't wait. I'm gonna stay up.
I will be in Texas for when they drop.
You gotta stay
Sean,
up though.
shut up.
That's easier for you. It's now earlier.
Yeah, but I gotta see if I'm gonna get Disney Plus. I'm gonna work. I don't want to see it on an iPad. I gotta try to bring maybe a piece to hook up to the TV in the hotel room.
Get the Roku stick.
Yeah, just take an
Pretty much.
take an HDMI cable with you, Dom. You'll be good.
Yeah.
Plug up to the.
Dusty wants to know where in Texas.
Oh, I'm gonna be next to Dallas. Next to Dallas area, like like up the road where AT&T
Nobody wants the
Stadium is.
fucking Knights of Red.
Hey, but hey, you know what? It might work. The Knights of Ren was force sensitive, and you don't know where Balin and these person came from, and they're in the galaxy. So you have
Well,
to
we
start.
already know from their synopsis they give us he was in the Clone Wars, right? I think Balin, so,
yeah,
Yeah,
but they were Knights of Ren were already on. They weren't in wild space anymore.
No, they would have been back then.
No, they weren't. We know that for a fact because we read a stupid ass book called Crimson Reign, and those comic books had the Knights of fucking Ren there, doing shit on the inner worlds.
But we know they were in. I'd have to go back, but I believe at some point they were in wild space after that.
All I know
they
is if
left the
Christian
wild
Slater
space,
shows
they
up as
left
Ren,
the-
I'm turning it off and never canceling
Look,
my
I'm
Disney
just saying,
Plus
the
subscription.
fact is that I would love to see cool. Like remember I told you last week, the cool things the sequel trilogy, the Knights of Ren were the coolest things. Why don't they use them? Maybe they might. Who knows?
Were they
Well,
the
I mean-
coolest thing, or did they just
I
get
think they were part of
murdered
this.
easily by?
No,
got murdered
the
really
whole
easily.
fact is, look, we all know that it would
Look,
be-
around the time of Han Solo being frozen kryptonite, Knights of Ren were on fucking whatever the fuck that planet is in the inner worlds. So I don't. That's
they
all.
were in hiding because remember after the events of Hidden Empire, they didn't want to deal with Palpatine, so Palpatine died. They they heard about that. And they probably in the wild space, and that's how Thrawn. They meet up with Thrawn. Who knows? Look, anything's possible if they want to connect all this shit.
So
that is the worst shit I've heard. Anything is possible, but if that shit happens,
Marco,
I'm burning all this
Marco,
motherfucking
hold
shit
on.
down.
You tell Dom he needs to come up with his own theories.
No, it's a good theory. It's
He needs
no,
to
it's
come
not a
up
good
with
theory.
Not somebody else's theory.
No,
That's a
no,
Dom
he's
theory.
right. That's good. That's good that he did that, and I'm burning all this shit down. That's what I'm saying.
It's like I said, like I mentioned it last week that they were the best part. Now, like I'm just saying, who knows? Like I said, you don't know the way the Ahsoka show is going. Maybe we're not even see Thrawn until like the last episode, baby. That I have a feeling that you won't see him into the last episode.
Well, I have a feeling. So, I mean, it's going to be a very short series.
I got a
don't think you'll see
feeling.
a lot of characters brought in like that. I mean, and I think we're
How
misinterpreting
many
here
is
a
it?
little bit of the.
6? 8.
Yeah, we're
It's 8.
misinterpreting the Balin thing a little bit. I think the Balin thing is more tied to what was her name, Morgan Elsbeth or whoever
Yes,
the.
agreed.
I think they're going to be much more tied to the third than they are to actual Thrawn.
Well, when
Yes,
she,
agreed.
she
Agreed.
hired them.
It's eight, but you gotta minus the 2 that they have to break away for Mandalorian to set him up for 2 episodes, and then yes,
The one book of Buffett.
And
Jesus
Boba
Christ.
Fett, yeah.
Hey,
And then
guess
we-
what? We had done it all day, so we're gonna do it right now because Jedi just fucking hit it, dude. There you go. Where is it? Jesus Christ.
Ring the bell!
Good job, Jedi. All right. With that being said, yeah, it's 8. I actually do think JJ's right, but is that the common logical thing to do? It's, it does look like they might be hunting for Thrawn for one reason or another. It doesn't mean they're friends with Thrawn. It doesn't mean whatever. And it looks like maybe they do have a link to that Elizabeth. The Elizabeth character he's talking about was the one that showed up in Mandalorian, where it was the Ahsoka.
Part of the
episode.
reason I think there's that line in the trailer again that I go back to where it's Ahsoka says Sabine and I kind of parted ways for a while. I think if we see that play out, I think
Which will be an
that
episode
parting
2.
of ways will be becoming. It seems like Ahsoka becomes more focused on finding Thrawn and thinking he's a threat, and Sabine may be more focused on finding her friend Ezra. And
Love-
what happened?
Oh,
to
is
him.
that
And
what
maybe
we're
at some
calling him
point-
now? Her friend?
Love
Okay.
her.
Well,
I love her.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how to refer to it, but however you want to refer
Just
to
saying.
it, I think they
Her
become
partner,
focused on
sex
different
partner. There you go.
objectives.
I really want that
I
cardboard
agree.
cutout of Sabine now behind me.
I think there will be like 3. I think it's like 3 stories that get told in. I think you're going to get the one story of, hey, one side gets hired to go try to find Thrawn, and that's why they're going to go to Elizabeth, which is Balin, which doesn't have anything to do with Thrawn, really, unfortunately for Don. Not in the Knights of Ren, but then you're going to have the other two-sided, which gives us the Hera / Ahsoka storyline and the Sabine isolated by herself,
Yeah.
pining over her fucking boyfriend.
We're gonna get the
Well,
Hera. I don't think that's true. I think we're gonna get the Hera with Mon Mothma and the beginning of the rebellion.
Look,
'Cause
this
that's-
is what we're getting. We're getting season 5 of Rebels with Ahsoka in it. That's what we're getting. That's it.
No,
Well, she was in season
really
4.
not.
I know.
Yeah. It's gonna be both, but I think it's gonna be Hera with all the the rebellion as it emerges into
Yeah.
the new era.
And we get to
That's
see
the
baby
one.
Kanan.
What?
We get to see baby Kanan.
You'll get to see baby there, and then you'll get the whole Sabine, whatever she's doing on Lothal with
We will see
Ahsoka,
the
whatever
rebellion,
she's
right?
doing.
You'll see her in the New Republic,
She's gonna be in the New Republic, pretty much.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
You
I
see
mean,
her
if
as
you how shitty is it going to be if Ahsoka thinks that Thrawn, and they leave this for a fucking couple years, Thrawn is the start of the new First Order.
The New Republic.
The First
See,
Order.
that would piss me off so much because there's so many good characters you should have in there that don't seem like they are, like Sloane and like these type of characters that should be involved in the building of the First Order that aren't there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like if it's just Morgan Elsbeth and fucking Balin, that'd be the worst thing ever. In my
Well, no. So what if the First Order is Morgan Ellsworth and Balin? They're trying to find Thrawn that's how they're probably trying to find Thrawn for that reason. What I'm saying is, what happened? And Ahsoka is trying to find Thrawn because she thinks that he is starting the First Order, and they leave it open ended where Thrawn is supposed to be, which we know doesn't happen.
Well,
you know what I mean? That's gonna suck.
How much of it do you think where Filoni does his classic replacing thing, where he's taking legend stuff like Sloane leaning like the hand of Thrawn, and and he's taking legend stuff and basically turning Elsbeth into Sloane and like going along those lines.
Yeah, I mean, no, I
Yeah, I got something.
go ahead.
Since we're just throwing stuff out and
Throw shit against the wall at this point.
fan ideas out. Getting back to I don't know why it should pop in my head. So getting back to the Jedi Master sacrificing himself. What if Ezra has to sacrifice himself for baby Kanan, who is most likely force sensitive in some way, in order to progress his training? I mean,
Or worse yet, what if that's how we see Luke?
No, hey, you're right.
Baby Kanan gets dropped off at Luke's academy.
Dropped off at Luke's. Oh my fucking head
later
will
be mastered
pop.
by Kylo.
with little baby Red.
Goodbye, Kylo Ren.
So baby Red can murder you. Holy shit. That's fucking horrible. That's so bad. Thanks a lot, Jedi. That's so bad. That's some dog shit.
I didn't go there. JJ went there. I
I was
just
the
threw out
one
the
that did that.
possibility that he was force sensitive.
You started the bread trail and then like fucking led
I
us to
seriously
that.
do hope that Jenna brings up a good point. I hope we see at least like a tease of him being like a force sensitive person.
We do. Well, Ezra does have to die, correct?
Let me ask you.
He may already be dead. We don't
Not
even know.
this
All we
season.
see in the trailer is a hologram.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that they're going to show Sabine's House of Ren, like her mom? Like, will they go?
No.
You think they have an episode where they go to to where they are? No.
I don't think
The only one you might get is what's his name?
Then Rao.
Okay.
That's the only one you're probably gonna get if you get anyone.
Yeah, I don't think you'll see any of that. I don't think Ezra's gonna die this season. Again, I think this is gonna be multiple seasons.
You might see
ultimately.
what's her name?
I don't think Ezra dies. Ezra dies anytime soon. I think he dies before the first order rises, but I don't think he dies now. I think he's going to have 30 years.
I'm putting it at a 10% chance that he's dead at the start of the series, that they don't find him and he's actually dead.
No,
I'll give
Small
you this.
0%, but I'm putting
Dave
it
is
at
not that creative of a story.
0.0% on that. I do have
show up
99% chance that he's going to die. 1% Dave doesn't fucking stick the landing and fucks it up, and Ezra's out.
Thrawn shows up in the last episode. That's it.
What?
Thrawn's going to show up in the last episode.
I think that
Episode 6.
Yeah, I think probably around 6 or 7. I think he's gonna get 2 episodes. He's gonna get 2 episodes somewhere,
Okay.
and it might just be like we see the back of his head for one episode, then we see him for another episode, but he gets it.
It looks like Elon Musk with the front.
Will Qui-Gon Jinn be in fucking? Are we kidding me, TMT guy?
Maybe he's Force Ghost.
All right, can I tell you?
Gibson's already said it's stupid to do that, right? Didn't he say something like
Right.
that? It's stupid to keep bringing him back or something.
Can I tell you how cool, like, my dream of this show happening is? So I know it's not going to fucking happen. So I've set
definitely
my
won't.
expectations super low.
It won't. Let's just go through it. Because
Yeah.
Filoni will do the opposite.
Yeah, I know, dude. I mean, I that's why, because I really do think, like, if you do the factional parts where, like, I don't have a problem with Hera playing the political part, you know, getting that little storyline going. Then you have the meetup between Ahsoka and Sabine and them getting over hating each other or not liking each other, but do like each other, or maybe they should have been together. They'll go out and find it. They do fly into the hump whales because easily you could do the, like, comet thing. Like, the comet comes around, so do the hump whales every once in a while. They shoot that out. In the meantime, they meet up with them and they're like, well, this is what it is. And Ezra's out there he's using the Force to train fucking people. So he's actually the master at that point. And then he trains Sabine a little bit. And then all of a sudden they start to come back because they're setting it up. And in the last episode, you get Thrawn back there with the entire army getting ready for the incoming invasion. In the meantime, you have all these other idiots fighting each other, which you had him fight. Sabine ends up killing off both Balin, and Ahsoka finally puts one through Spear Girl, and that's the end of all that. And we get to see Rara, or whatever her name is, the Chiss lady, and we get to see Eli back with the Empire saying, oh shit, thank God the Emperor's dead, because I hated that asshole. Anyways, we eliminate all those aspects of her coming up again, and it leads up to the Thrawn War, where Thrawn ends up protecting the regular stuff, which instead of starting the First Order Rebellion, leaves that completely off the books, and he's just stopping the invasion.
Wow.
These are your non-lofty expectations.
That's
Yeah. And by the way, also gets the plans for the TIE program, and that's what helps him.
There is equal or high chance of that happening as Ezra being dead before this.
How about this? The first episode begins with
Better less.
Balin cutting down the Bendu, killing the Bendu.
Killing him.
That the Bendu's gone.
Thrawn would have to if Thrawn does come back, or when he comes back, he has to be eliminated in some sort prior to the New Order, right? Or else he would never sign off on the planet killer or whatever they had in that episode.
He could be gone. He could go
He
back.
could be back in. No, like, yeah, what I'm saying is Thrawn's whole purpose could be that he's just trying to get
An army together.
stuff to fight whatever the.
We don't see Thrawn ever becoming part of the New Order ever.
No,
He's
no, I don't think that's what I'm saying. Like that link, I think that's the easiest way to do it, where you just have him fighting the invasion and then he fucking takes off.
Let me ask you a question.
The grass are not coming into this thing. There's no going to be the grass.
You sure? You sure that might not be where that Thrawn actually teams up?
Well,
with
the grass
everybody?
are kind of gone anyways. There's something behind the grass that's.
I thought they were maybe you're right. I forget.
Yeah,
there's
the Vong is still coming somewhere. That's after. That might be before.
Anyway, all that stuff.
Let's all do this. Let's all go.
All that stuff is not happening. It's not.
Oh yeah, no, it would make too much fucking sense and make too good of a fucking
and
setup.
it requires way too much backstory from people who have.
No, it doesn't. It's very simple how you do
You
it.
got to talk about wild space. You got to talk
No.
about culture.
They're bringing in the sperm whales anyway. They're bringing the hyper sperm whales. They're bringing in
all that.
Huh?
I think they use
We do. There's like 6 scenes with them in it.
I think we
You not watch the
there,
trailers?
personally.
You think they're gonna cut all that out? You think they're gonna cut all of it out?
Listen, I don't know, man. I think that there is a bigger threat out there. Hey, they could use the threat now after the First Order got defeated. Maybe the threat comes later on. Who knows?
The only sad part is Star Wars never expands the fucking universe, so the odds of that fucking happening is zip, zilch, zero.
It always goes back to Luke.
Yeah. The bigger thing is Luke's gonna show up and fucking train baby Hera. What's his name? Jason.
Well, he's gonna be training Kylo Ren too. Kylo Ren soon.
My bigger fear is that so to play back into like the whole First Order thing, like I agree with Jedi. Like, there's no way Thrawn can be around when the First Order actually rolls around to their peak power point or whatever we see in the sequel trilogy. My theory is like the New Republic has to have somebody to fight in between those. It's not necessarily like 30 years of pure peace, right? There's got to be rebels or something that against the.
Well, they were
Republic.
decommissioning everything.
Well, and we've seen where the New Republic is not the greatest. as far as ethics go and all that stuff. So I have a feeling that Thrawn, they're breaking the character of Thrawn and kind of throwing him in there. And the heir to the Empire type Thrawn is going to be the New Republic's new enemy type thing. What?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, and the other point is like the whole New Republic thing. My question is, how much do you guys think? There's been all this talk, and we saw it in the last season of Mando, where they're kind of rolling the Rangers of the New Republic rather than its own series into other stuff.
Yeah.
Do we see like a Rangers of the New Republic type episode like we saw in Mando? Is that going to happen in Ahsoka?
Hopefully not. But what about this that you've never thought of? What if Ezra and Thrawn don't come back, and the whole point of this is to have Sabine and fucking Ahsoka shoot out into fucking wild space and meet up with those two? What if that's the ending? What if that's what happens in episode 8? And that sets up the Thrawn movie. So they're actually expanding it where they're going to introduce wild space by doing that, and it keeps all that other shit, the First Order shit, and the incompetence of. You're shaking your head, no way, Seeker. But this is a way they could get around that.
They could, but Dave's not going to do that. Dave's not doing that.
Why not? It gives him a sandbox he can play in where he doesn't have to be restricted.
He doesn't want a sandbox he can play on. He has the whole.
Yes, he does. He does.
He has the whole thing that he thinks he can play.
No, he doesn't. He can shoot all his characters.
He's already got.
We can run into Quinlan Voss out. Quinlan Voss for some reason's out there.
It's all going to be connected because remember he talked about how everybody from the Mandoverse is coming into this movie. Boba Fett's going to come into this movie.
Yeah,
everybody's coming into this movie.
Right. Well, so the edge of wild space makes sense if you're going to have the Mandoverse out there, because it also, once again, isolates themselves from the New Republic and from First Order. Think about that. He already has, hold on. He already has isolated his universe. The Mandoverse has already been isolated, and it doesn't make sense why it's fucking isolated from the First Order. But it is.
Well,
it's isolated.
The First Order is still 2 decades away or so, right? I mean,
yeah,
not really, because not under that last fucking movie. Not after they shat all over fucking battles, stars, fields, whatever.
Well, but I mean, timeline wise, like you're looking at roughly 30 years. Was it 30 years after Return of the Jedi or 20?
Well, Battle of Jakku happened like 9 years after. What was it? Battle of Jakku happened. What was it? 8 or 9 years prior to fucking Mandoverse.
But my point is this. So this is basically,
and that's the start of the First Order. So,
but
I mean,
I think we've already
technically the fucking First Order is 8 years old by the time we get to Mandoverse.
And
they're not.
We saw a little bit of the First Order in
Mandoverse takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi.
And we saw those First Order guys, those generals that kind of form it in Mandalorian, like Hux's dad.
They were there, yes. They were there, yes, in Mandalorian. That's the First Order's already there. That's what I'm saying. By the time we get to Mandoverse, they've already been established.
Yeah. So you still have 30 years before they actually get to that point, but they're little pinpoint, they're building up into that moment.
Yeah.
So,
right. Yeah, I mean, but that's what I was saying, like to try to isolate it, because we killed Moff Gideon, so we broke the release of First Order, still explained that the First Order was around. We're gone. Mandoverse is moving forward from that point, so it looks like he's severing the First Order.
What about Snoke? Do you think Snoke is somewhere?
Was 5, sorry, not 2 or 3. It was 5. So it's 5 years prior to Mandoverse.
You think Snoke is weaving his way into things now?
God, I hope not, because that just means Palpatine gets involved.
Oh, please!
Yeah, because it is happening. It's going to happen. You got to connect it all.
Yeah, not if you Dom. You don't if you isolate yourself from the First Order. So if Mandoverse is isolated from, the one thing Dave likes to be is a fan favorite. Can we agree with that? That's why he wears higher shoes.
I don't think you can isolate this that much, because, like Wayseeker said, like these people that you're going to see in this, with the exception of Sabine and a couple others, like we've already seen in the Mandoverse. Like you can't isolate it. They're there.
No, that's what I'm saying. These universe. In the Mandoverse, yes, but isolating Filoni world from the sequels, I think you can do, and I think he's doing that. What?
Jedi's agreeing with the timeline stuff, giving him a headache.
Yeah.
He's done. He's like, come on.
Obviously we've seen it, and it looks like he's distancing himself from it. That's all I'm saying. We've seen the incompetence of the fucking whatever New Republic. So, yeah, whatever.
That's the
Yeah,
baby.
I'd love-
That's called the Acolyte. That is not called Filoni.
I'd love a
That's
Chiss
a cool
series.
Andor.
I'd love just a Chiss series. If I was gonna have a Thrawn movie or a Thrawn series, show me the prequel Thrawn where he's involved with the Chiss. Like that's what I would care about, not the
Dude, that
Oh,
would be
you
super
don't
cool.
have
the
to do
Empire
that.
Thrawn.
We're not gonna see that.
I know, but that's what I want.
We could see it someday.
We all want
It's
that.
not gonna
We all
be.
want
It's gonna be after Dave. After Dave's done.
But isn't that a way to explain Heir to the Empire too? It's just like it's a false flag. Like he's not actually the heir of the Empire, but that's what Ahsoka thinks he is, and that's why they go out there because she wants to stop it. And in the meantime, they know that there's something brewing, which we all know is the First Order. Therefore, you don't have to incorporate the First Order as a main overlining storyline in the Mandoverse, which they haven't done. Like you're right, they have kind of touched on it, but like they severed that relationship really quickly. It was like one thing. The very next episode, dude's on fire.
The cloning thing part where in the facility where they went and that the person was talking about that, and little bits and pieces, and then like in the episode when Moff Gideon died, the rise.
Yeah, that
So-
cloning conversation haunts my dreams.
Yeah.
They're about like, oh, be involved in cloning
You know,
and Thrawn, and
Like
oh,
I said,
God.
they want to connect things and put little like seeds and things so we can actually get it all connected. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Remember this.
Dom, would you be happy if Boba Fett showed up in Ahsoka?
Yeah, I would be, but I'm not counting on that.
Is he still
You know
on the
what? If
Sarlacc
he
pit?
does, it's awesome, but I'm not Captain Rex. I see more showing
Right.
up.
I agree.
That's what I'm saying. What if they actually have been listening to fans and are finally going to do the separation where like if you go into wild space, you don't have to he had a lot of leniency with Rebels compared to Clone Wars. He didn't have a lot of leniency with Clone Wars. Rebels, he did. He tried the Resistance thing, which was containing him in that fucking sequel trilogy shit. And look at how well that goes. If you don't think that his ego got bruised for that, and you don't think he's looking for something to blame, he probably saying, "Well, not sure that it's my writing and my animation."
If he wanted a distance, why is he including all these little bits in Mandalorian and
Because
stuff?
he always
Agreed.
includes little bits.
Agreed, JJ. He doesn't want a distance.
But
I
he
don't think he
severed
wants
it.
to
He
distance.
severed those bits.
By what?
He set the
Killing
guy on
Gideon?
fire.
Doesn't
The
sever
link.
anything.
Yeah, the link up to
Gideon
Gideon,
was
he
one
set him on the
part.
fucking fire.
One little piece, and that's what he was
One
just
little
showing.
piece,
Gideon
though.
was just a pawn. And
That was
Gideon
the
kinda
connecting
doing his
tissue.
own thing
Connected
anyways.
by adding new aspects, new characters, this and that to build up to that point. Hey, look, I would love to see the fact that if they in a different part of space that we don't even talk about the First Order, that's going on one day, and we're just talking about another area of space. It'd be awesome, but in reality, the sequel trilogy is never going anywhere. It's part of Star Wars, and that's it. And they're going to build upon it to it.
I agree with Tom. I think
Listen to me. This
never going to fully go away, and never going to be.
If
ignored
okay,
by
let me ask you.
mainline
No, I
Star
don't
Wars
think it's
stuff.
ever going to fully go away either. But yeah, why aren't we writing a new part and also trying to fix the sequels? I get both of that, but my question here is, if he fucking like it's the end of him and Goodwill, if he fucking makes Hera's kid show up being trained next to Kylo Ren, is that a true statement? There's going to be a huge fan base that will not be saying in Dave We Trust anymore if that fucking
but
thing
that's not
happens.
going to happen.
But we've seen the.
It's not
we've
going to
seen the
happen,
massacre.
Marco. He's not that dumb. He's not. He's not gonna be
We've
crazy
seen
as
the
you are.
massacre of. We've seen the massacre in the Kylo comics, right? Of
Yeah.
whenever he
He killed a couple of people.
massacred
Yeah.
the younglings in Luke's academy.
Yeah,
or
but there's supposed to
whatever.
be there's supposed to be more people around than we see there, supposedly.
Yeah.
I'm saying that that's why the Knights of Ren and in the friggin' Snoke have a lot to do. So they're forming.
Do
Things
not
are-
bring it back, fucking Snoke. That's bringing back Snoke doesn't fix shit.
It doesn't
I
fit
think
shit.
Thrawn's gonna be Rey's nemesis in the new Rey movie. Thrawn's gonna come back and be Rey's nemesis.
What if Rey's
Hey,
new
what's up,
story
Billy?
is about the Vong? They're gonna fight the Vong.
That's what Marco wants. Marco wants
Not
the Vong.
Ray. No, I do want the Vong to show. I think the Vong's cool.
I
The
don't-
Vong aren't going to show up. I mean, again, this is where I feel like the people that Timothy was trying to write into were the new Vong. The big bads.
Which, by the way, Dave shorting him and introducing him first. You think that's some shit that he would do?
No,
You think Dave would just do? You're like, oh shit, I get to do the Vogue with the new version. I'm gonna put it in there before he gets to rewrite them.
There was an episode of
Just like
Wars.
Thrawn, huh?
There was an episode of Clone Wars that was scrapped. You know, the ones that they never really got out, and there was an episode where the Vong was in it. So
That was the Bong. I don't even remember.
The Vogue, it was Invasions. It was a
Star Wars
storyline called
Invasion
Invasions
comics?
where they came in.
Yeah.
They didn't
And
believe in the
different-
Force. They wanted to destroy the Force. They were like,
different
yeah,
novels.
They're kind of like more sentient, nameless from High
Yeah.
Republic kind of in a way.
The next break we have from Star Wars, we have no content. We should go over some of that stuff.
that's
Fair.
different.
Fair, but before I do that, because I got cut short while I was trying to do the other thing, I'm not going to go back over the pricing of fucking 1/100s. But what I did miss out on because we had to get short is the catch of the week. There we go, catch of the week. That, my friends, is a Master Angler King
That looks
salmon.
photoshopped.
That
It does look
definitely,
Photoshop, right?
it definitely happened 10 years ago because
No. And this is why, because I saw they was in the chat. A real big shout out to the Wright family and to the Fisher family from hosting me up at Crosswinds again this year. It was a great time. Lots of drinking, good fishing trip. This
You don't
thing
even
right
own that
here
hat
was a
anymore.
monster, by the way.
You don't even own that hat anymore.
Yeah, I do. It's the same hat I'm
No,
wearing.
you don't. It's not.
It's the
You don't
Michigan-
have that hat. That is
no. You know what it
fake
is? It's the-
picture.
You want to bet? Take a picture of that. The hat. I'll have the hat. That's the. They don't sell that hat anymore, so
So
you
that
can't
blue
buy
shirt
it.
was
That's the
10 years
PG.
ago.
I just have that shirt. I just wore that shirt the other day on this fucking show.
But you don't have that hat. Let's see the hat.
You want to
Pull up the
bet?
hat.
Okay, let me go get it. Hold
Let
on.
me see the fish. Let me see the fish. It does look Photoshop.
It does look Photoshop.
Photoshop Marco Freud.
Marco's not here, so I can bring up all these things I want to. 8-bit fish.
Oh, Dan's good too.
That's funny. I
Picture,
don't, I don't know where the bell is, or else I would give him the bell for that one. That was funny.
Ding dong.
Yeah, I can't get to the bell either. I don't know where it is.
Wait a minute.
So wait a second. You going to Baltimore Comic Con?
No, I'm not going to
Ring the
Baltimore.
bell.
You're whack.
Where do
JJ.
you get that?
Go to
How do you get to
Baltimore?
that?
Nope.
Damn, you whack too.
You have to help me. No, I mean it's too far. I don't have time or money.
Dude, I barely went to the con that was here in town.
Okay.
Ask and you shall receive. It is this hat. You've seen it before.
And where's the
You've
fish?
seen it recently. You've
Where's
seen
the
it
fish?
often. I had to pull it out of the truck because that's where it was. That is not a deep fake
I
fish.
want to see the fish. Where is it?
Okay, hold on.
Oh, good job.
God. If it's in pieces and filleted, it doesn't count.
It looks like the cover of a Nintendo game. Fish Hunters. Yeah, I used to play
I
that game.
ate some the day after this was caught. I ate some more this week.
See,
Uh,
we'll just doesn't count.
I don't care. It could be any fish. We don't know what fish.
Yeah,
it
we
is.
don't-
About that.
Hold on, no,
About that at the super
no, no, no,
store,
no, no,
man.
no, because there's no way I labeled it. There's no way.
7:30.
That's
Wait,
last
wait,
month.
7:30. That's not
I
this
want an
week.
autopsy.
It was last week. It was last week. This is the same trip last week.
That's not even this week.
Did you miss it when I said I wanted to thank them for hosting me last week? This is still from last week. Two fish. I had to show these amazing fish.
It's 2 weeks
It's from
ago
Kroger's.
now.
That's not 2 weeks ago. It was last week. I caught it while I was
7:30 is
there.
2 weeks ago, exactly.
That's from Kroger.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah.
from Kroger.
7:30 is 2 weeks.
2
ago from
weeks
today.
ago.
That was from Meyer.
Myers.
Maybe it was. Maybe that's when I was on vacation. Whenever I was on vacation, who cares? I didn't have time to set all this up.
Liar.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
No,
we got it. We got
Do
it.
you ever actually mount like a trophy fish? Like,
No, I eat these. No.
why no? But I mean, do they, like, you never mount them?
I don't know. No. I mean, well, you know what? Well, I'll be honest with you. Like, it's expensive to buy. It's expensive to buy like
Oh, I was just about to say fish heads. And Dwayne beat me to it. Fish heads, yummy, yummy fish heads. Fish heads, fish heads.
So no, I mean, I try not to eat a lot. I try to only eat it once a week if it comes out of because of the mercury levels. But between this and that little, I mean, we ate the whole that rainbow trout that was blue.
His head is photoshopped.
Oh no! Hold on. I'll do. This isn't my fish. This was just caught on the boat I was there. It was from the fishers. He said, "Could you show this fish off on the show?" That's why it's up here. I didn't catch this. I caught the blue one, not this one. This is not the fish I caught. It's still the catch of the week. It's just not my catch of the week.
Oh, you see, it's got to be your catch of the week, man.
Oh, get out of here!
False advertisements.
Get out of here! No, I'm telling you the truth about it. It's a good.
Let's get this thing done before 3 hours. We're good.
All right, yeah. So that was it. I just wanted to do fish of the week for them. Thank you once again for having me out that week. I appreciated it. I appreciated fishing with you guys. I appreciated drinking with you
An
guys.
Akbar deep fake. Ring the bell.
That's not a deep fake. You guys don't know anything about
He
fishing.
said Akbar. He said Akbar deep fake.
Mon calamari.
Yep.
It's not Mal calamari. Ambiguous fish.
Well, listen,
Oh my god.
I don't know if Friday we're gonna have a show on Friday because I'm going away, and Jedi's busy too.
What does
So
this
it
even
might not be
mean?
a show for us, the old
What?
man in the ones. Might not have
That
a
is
show.
not. This is why you people are so weird. This is why you think aliens are down here already.
Cast the shadow.
You can't, what are you talking about?
But
Okay, go. You're not here this week.
yeah, I don't
You're
think
taking
we're
part of the
gonna.
office right here.
Yeah,
We don't know.
We
We
don't
don't
know.
know because Dom is going to be traveling. I'm going to be in a workshop still because of the time difference. It'll still be late afternoon here. We'll see what we're going to do. I'm not sure yet. Pete said he won't be able to make it because he is going on vacation the following day, next Saturday. So I don't know. We'll have to see. If we can't have a show, then hopefully we'll know by Wednesday, and you guys can let everybody know on the TAC show, and we'll put it out on IG and stuff like that.
but I will be tomorrow on Bucifer's channel. He
Nice.
invited me, so I will be there tomorrow.
And you'll be around next week for us
King
too.
of Nerds. I'll be on the King of Nerds. So tomorrow night, 9:00. I'll be there.
Bro, if I was that good at making fucking Photoshop, I don't think I'd be
That's
posting
true.
myself.
Actually, I believe Marco now because I've seen him try to edit slides and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
bro.
It ain't there, bro.
If I was
That's
that
good.
good, I would be posting at that fucking place.
Skill are about equal. Let's be honest.
That shit ain't true. If I
Listen,
was good, I would be
That's
doing
not the head of
that.
the fish. He actually photoshopped another head in the
more
fish.
skill than Marco.
He photoshopped another head in that fish.
Did I lose fingers? Oh, it does look like it because I got it in the mouth to hold it. That fucker was big. All right. Yeah. Sorry, BK, but I think you fucking think too much of me that I could fucking Photoshop and shit like that. We'll figure out your guys' schedule. We'll make it work. I have to get this fish back in the freezer. How do you cook it? One question. How do you cook it? Is that what he asked right here?
Grill it.
Grill it,
Yeah, that's what
saute
that's.
it.
Yeah.
You do, or so this is one way to do it because my kids don't like skin on fit. So what you take, how do you get the skin off if you have skin on salmon real quickly? There's a fat layer in between them. So what you do is you get a little bit of oil, you heat it up really hot, really, really, really hot. Okay. And once it gets really hot, like you can test how hot it is by putting water in your hand and doing this. If you start saying psh, and the water splits, take the piece on the skin, hit it over there. You do it for 2 or 3 minutes, then you take a spatula and you just take it, not a spatula. What's the flipper thing called? The flip, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Spatula?
Take one of those, you
Spatula.
slide it underneath because it'll be crusty. You
Yeah.
flip it off. It's still raw on the top and 3/4 of it, just the bottom because the fat separation. The skin is hard as shit. You could either candy that or you could just toss that. And then you take the rest of the piece and you throw it on the grill and you cook it skinless on the grill. My kids like lemon pepper seasoning on both. I prefer just very light, a bit of salt, pepper. Sometimes like you could use a red pepper. It makes it a little bit better. Oregano is good on that too. And you could use, I like to put a little bit of dried citrus.
So
you can use
we're gonna on TAC this week. They're gonna be going over spices that are good on fish. They're gonna rank.
We
them
did that
all.
already. It didn't go
They're
over
gonna
well.
go just for fish. They're gonna get a
We're going to be
bag.
ranking
Cheers, ways to cook
kitchen
salmon.
utensils. Spatula is already S tier. We know that. So stay tuned on what all the others are.
What is it? It's yeah. Either way. Okay. Thank you very much.
Patties?
What?
Patties. You don't make salmon patties?
No. No, I just
No?
picked the fit. No, because like, no, I don't. But because the layers of fat that are in between them is nice and it splits off evenly, so I can make smaller pieces for the kids, and they don't like the the membrane that runs down the middle, so you cut those 2 fucking parts off, and then you just slide the sections off. And I like my salmon not murdered to death.
I gotta agree with BK. Old Bay is where it's at on the fish.
On some
Old Bay
fish,
on
if I'm gonna batter something, I like to put Old Bay in it because it
Especially
gives it
whitefish.
spice.
Any type of whitefish.
Yeah,
Some Old
but
Bay
that,
on
not
there,
for.
some
I
tilapia.
actually like the taste of salmon, so I try not to overpower it with Old Bay.
You're making Jedi hungry. He needs to go get some dinner.
I mean, I think cod. If you use that duck deep fry
I had a
and
big
you throw in
lunch. I'm actually all
Old
right.
Bay, I think that's great for that. You know, to do some cod or I don't. Whitefish is fine, but I like smoked whitefish and dips. I actually have some of that. I don't eat tilapia and shit, but I guess if you're somebody who likes dirt fish like fucking tilapia or catfish, yeah, probably drown that fucker in Old Bay so you
And
can't
get
taste the
some,
dog shit in it.
fillet. You get some fillet, white fillet, and what you do is you take sour cream and you mix it up with some chives. a couple
Oh,
of
sorry,
things,
Jedi.
And you roll it up, and you put it in the oven. You bake them with the sour cream in the middle. Really,
Oh, you're talking about like doing with flounder? Yeah.
flounder,
Yeah, you take flounder, you split it, put a little butter in there, and do that. Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Mhm.
Jedi, you're a fan of catfish?
Oh, I love fried catfish. Hell yes. God,
Marco just lost all respect.
dude. If you don't like catfish, you ain't from the South. If you're in
Oh,
the
yeah.
South and you don't like catfish, then you're not really from the South. You moved there.
I'm okay with that statement. I'm okay with
Some
that statement.
catfish.
Catfish
Some catfish
is the
fingers
shit.
is where it's at, man. You get some catfish.
That is
fingers.
there's no catfish is
Mm.
that's like eating fucking cat. Oh,
You want to kick it up a notch? Use some of the cornmeal breading when you fry it.
yeah.
I got a buddy.
There's
shout out to
nothing
Travis.
that
Dustin
tastes.
knows him. That dude can cook some catfish, and oh God Almighty, that shit is
There's
good.
nothing that takes that
Catfish on the grill.
mud skunk taste out of catfish. Don't tell me fucking milk. All right, don't tell me hey, put in buttermilk.
Milk's just for the smell.
Yeah,
for the
if the
taste.
fish, if that fish smells so stanky and tastes like mud's ass, no,
Mud's
there ain't
ass.
nothing to it.
I ain't smelling it. I'm eating it. Who just sit around smelling? No, eat
Yo,
it.
listen,
You deep.
I know
Dude, you
some-
gotta
and-
bread it. I cook my stuff, so I know. So like
I
I
ain't
have
saying
to
nothing
smell.
about cooking it. I don't cook it. I eat it.
Look, I think you and BK have finally found common ground, Marco.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, a clock's right twice a fucking day. BK got it today. It is an unholy, unhuman thing. You should not eat catfish. It is no. That and
Alright.
people eat tilapia. You ever go to a restaurant and somebody
Yeah.
orders a
I
tilapia?
don't eat tilapia.
The
It ain't
wild
sitting at
caught
my
tilapia
table.
is delicious.
freaking tilapia is the bottom of the
Some wild
barrel.
tilapia.
Freaking fishy.
So is catfish. No, tilapia. No, not.
What's
no.
worse? What's worse, tilapia or catfish?
Taste wise, or
I mean, like the both.
well, tilapia doesn't have a real actual flavor. That's why you fucking everybody over fucking powers it with seasoning all the time. Catfish tastes like dog shit. That's why everybody overpowers it with fucking seasoning all the time. So it's take your pick of garbage animal.
Man,
Mhm.
right now the
Give me a
cat.
choice
carp
of
next?
lobster or catfish. I'm taking that catfish. You can have.
Oh no!
Lobster, you kidding me?
Whoa.
Yep.
I like the
Some
giant roast
things we can't take
yum.
back.
I don't need to take that back. I eat
No,
catfish.
you can leave that right there to prove my point. Thank you very much, sir. There you go. That tastes, dude. That's just gross. There's nobody ever in their life has ever said, you know what? Fuck a lobster. Give me some catfish. Nope. That's never been said. Well, now it has to. I'm not just praying for Maui. I'm praying for you at this
You
point.
put the catfish on the grill. Catfish on the grill. That's what they say all the time.
Mm-mm. Deep fry that mother.
Oh, you got to fry the catfish,
Oh.
man. There's only one way to eat catfish.
Yeah.
It's in
Yeah.
a grill. It's fried.
Don't-
One random
hey.
victory is confirmed to be Jedi's alt. It's confirmed.
Here's the thing. Yeah, that is confirmed. Here's the thing. If you have to over season and deep fry the fuck out of something to make it edible, that shit's not edible.
I didn't say it's good sushi. I said it's good fried fish.
It's not good fried fish.
I'm not saying catfish is the best fish across the board. Put it on.
Dude, hey, I got a question.
Sushi
No.
roll and go. I'm saying
me ask you a
fry that
question.
mother up and
Hold-
it's good.
Hold on. No, hold on. What if somebody took a loaf of bread and did the same shit they did to catfish, deep fried that fucking shit and gave it to you? I bet you'd think, damn, this is fucking good. You could substitute anything. I don't think it's quite the catfish that's good. I think it's the preparation that you like.
Preparation.
Huh? Yeah.
I said I like fried catfish a lot. I don't know why we're over-examining this and like dissecting my statement. I like fried catfish.
Yes, they sell it out here in the city. There's a lot of places that have catfish on the menu. They advertise it too.
That's all over the place.
It's all over the place. Yeah. We used to.
Now, let's say this. Yeah, it's got to be like, to me, like river cat. Like my wife, we're in Hawaii, right? So my wife will buy catfish, and it's going to be those farm-raised catfish. I mean, I'll eat it, but
just
it ain't
eating
like
each other's
river,
poop all the time.
It ain't river cat. Whatever makes it, whatever brings out the flavor, I can't tell you. But river cat.
Jedi likes the type where you the hand fishing, man, where you stick your hand and catch them.
Noodlers.
I ain't brave enough to go noodling. I'm not that brave. It probably tastes great, but I ain't brave enough to go noodling. No.
Dude,
I'll stick my hand down an alligator mouth.
hey, listen. If your claim to
Like
fame
Chubb
about
from
being
Happy
a
Gilmore.
Southern person is you eat dog fucking shit fish, you can have the South. You can have it. You can have all of it. Have it. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Zaggy. I'm talking to Zell. You can have it. Walleye's up here. We have walleye in Michigan all the time. Like
Walleye's good. It's good freshwater fish.
Yeah, freshwater fish. This is not a selling point. You guys understand that, correct? This is not a selling point. If I'm like, hey, yo, y'all want some salmon? You'll be like, yeah, sure. If I say, hey, y'all want some walleye? Sure, yeah, sure. We'll all do that. Telling us that catfish is a selling point for you, that's not a selling point, right? You eat a fish that smells terrible and eats trash all day. Like, that's not a selling point, guys. You know what it is? It's cod up here.
I'm not here to sell you on anything. I'm saying I like catfish. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm talking to the chat. Yeah. That's all I'm saying is, I'd rather have cod than have catfish. Monkfish is good too. I'd rather have that. Obviously, I'd rather have salmon. There's a lot of things I'd rather have. It's not good, Zaggy. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm done with catfish talk. Thank you, everybody. We stayed way too long, but thanks y'all for being here. Make sure you're checking out some of these things. Go back and watch or whatever. If you want a couple extra episodes because you got through them all that we would suggest, we'll give you those too. We will be back next week with some type of horse shit to talk about with Star Wars because there ain't much going on next week. I'll tell you that much. All right.
BK
We'll
have
see
his
y'all.
mom fix him some catfish. You'll be all right. You'll like it.
What's up now?
I was telling BK have his mom fix him some catfish. He might like it.
BK, don't eat catfish. What little respect I have for you, I will lose.
Do you think BK's ever cooked a meal in his life? His
No,
mom cooked
never.
some-
No, that's why I said he needs
Never.
his mom.
So
to
like,
He
if
ain't
his
never
mom knew
cooked-
how to cook catfish, BK would be eating catfish.
Valid point. Yeah. If he hasn't eaten it by now, he ain't fucking eating it, bro.
So I guess catfish is like poison, like Max Rebo trying to poison Jabba the Hutt.
There you go. Great book. Best comic of all time. We'll see y'all later. Later.